$2 statement credit when you spend $200 before your dog's 8th birthday.
Credit card ads have all sorts of numbers, but they mean nothing to you if you don't get approved. So here's Credit Karma's number, 50. Like members who shop on Credit Karma get approved over 50% more often than the national average. Now that's a number you can rely on. Credit Karma. Apply with more confidence. Member approval rates in 2021 over 50% higher than 2020 CFPB national average.
At CSL Plasma, you can make up to $825 this month when you donate plasma at any of CSL Plasma's tri-state area donation centers. That's money you get on a reloadable, prepaid card for doing a good deed. Plasma donations help create therapies to treat patients with rare and serious diseases, and donations are needed now more than ever. The donation process is a lot like donating blood, with a nice chunk of change in your pocket when you're done. As a thank you for your time, you don't need an appointment to donate. Walk-ins are welcome.
We buy any car. We buy any car. We buy any car. Any.
Trading in or selling your car, truck, or SUV? WeBuyAnyCar.com takes the hassle out of selling in just 3 easy steps. 1. Get your free online valuation. 2. Drive to your local car buying center. And 3. Walk out with your check in as little as 30 minutes. So don't wait. Get your free online valuation now at WeBuyAnyCar.com.
Find out how much your car's worth at We Buy Any Car.
When you want a hot and juicy hamburger, go for the Square. Wendy's serves up fresh, never frozen beef. And yup, these patties are square. Grab a Dave's Double and see the hot and juicy Square difference for yourself. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's. Fresh beef available in the contiguous U.S., Alaska, and Canada.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station, home of the most entertaining sports talk in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia. It's time now for Cuz Radio.
What up, Cuz?
Deshaun Jackson gets a block. Are you kidding?
Talking with the Cuz.
Yo, Cuz, how you doing?
Stairs rips one into the night.
Stolen by the doctor. Yes, he's got it. Here he comes. Way rock the baby to sleep and slam dunk.
Look, Cuz, don't even try it, okay?
Now here's Anthony Gargano.
Why don't you get the hell out of here, Cuz?
And a good Thursday morning, Philadelphia. I'm Andrew Salchunas filling in for the Cuz. Anthony will be back next Monday, August 1st. Can't wait to see my man. I was texting with him yesterday, sent him a photo of baby Coop, and he was all fired up. So yesterday was a nice day. I want to just thank right away Connor Thomas. And Tom, I know you've been, filling in in my seat, I guess. Have you been filling in technically for me? Who would you be filling in for?
Yeah, I think that counts, right?
I guess that counts because I'm in this seat. But I want to thank you and Connor for taking care of business yesterday and holding down the fort. Had to hang out with Cooper for the day. Had a nice little doctor's appointment. Everything's good, but had to do that yesterday. That was my first full day one-on-one with baby Coop.
How'd it go?
I'm here.
That's good.
And he's still kicking.
That's awesome, too.
So things
Even
are good.
Better news.
I thank you guys for holding down the fort for me yesterday. I really just wanted to stay home and watch the Phillies. That's exactly what it was. There was no doctor's appointment. I don't even have a kid. I've been lying this entire time. I just want your likes and retweets on Twitter. That's not even my baby in those photos. I've been lying this entire time.
It's a fake baby.
Yeah, it's a fake baby. I just wanted to stay home and watch the Phillies beat the Braves yesterday and win the series. Now, I'm going to get into the Eagles in a little bit, but I got to talk about the Fightins, who win yesterday, take 2 of 3 against the Braves, and I can make the case that that's one of the more impressive and maybe even the most important series victories all season long. Because you're coming off just a dreadful series against the Cubs where you get swept. A team that was 20 games under 500 before they come in to your hometown, right, in Philadelphia, and they sweep you. And it's just like it was ugly. And you went into the All-Star break sky high. Momentum was sky high. You go into the break, you just sweep the Marlins. Things are great. Everybody's fired up. And you come back and get swept by the Cubs. And I'm like, oh, boy, well, that's not good. And then they win game 1 against the Braves. Now, if you've been listening, I did not think they would win this series against Atlanta. And quite frankly, I thought that there was a strong chance that they could have got swept because the game that I thought they had the best chance winning was the third game of the series. I did not think they were going to beat Max Fried. All right, I did not think that at all. And then I did not think that they were going to beat Spencer Strider, who's ridiculously good. And you saw how well he pitched against the Phillies in Game 2 of that series, and the Braves ended up winning. I did not think they'd beat Fried. And then in game 3, even though Charlie Morton, his ERA's in the 4s, and it doesn't look like the same Charlie Morton numbers that we saw in years past, I just thought, all right, this guy's still a stellar pitcher. He can probably beat the Phillies, but I think that's the best chance the Phillies have of winning a game this series. And I remember we got that text the day after the Phillies won game 1 from a man, West Virginia Rick, who you hear Anthony bring up often on the show. He said that the Phillies had not lost a series where they won game 1 of said series since May 1st. And I remember reading that to you, and we were kind of like, all right, well, that's good. It's still going to be pretty difficult. It's a tough task to beat the Braves, even if it is in Philadelphia. Look, you just got swept by the Cubs. So they get that win yesterday. They win the series. And again, I can make the case that that's the most important series win that they've had all season long. Because if you drop 2 of 3, or worse, get swept, and you go 0-6 out of the All-Star break, or 1-5 out of the All-Star break, and it's home games, and it's leading up to the trade deadline, you win a series like that, hopefully that sends a little bit more of a message to the front office that this team is legit, that this team can win, that this team can do something in the playoffs, especially when Gene Segura and Bryce Harper come back from injury. We'll see about the status of Zach Eflin down the road. You shouldn't just wait on that and see what happens. No, you got to make a move. But the Phillies will get better as a team as these guys get healthy, and hopefully they make some moves at the trade deadline, because that's what I'm banking on. All right? I am banking on the Phillies to make some moves of note before the deadline, and that excites me. So I have a question, Phillies-related question, to start things off before I move on into the Eagles in a couple of minutes. Tom, you've been here since, Anthony left, and we've been filling in for Anthony. He'll be back on the 1st. People were kind of excited, I would say, going into the All-Star break when they swept the Marlins. I think it was more so you and me that were excited.
That's probably fair.
And then, a couple of people were like, yeah, that was a good series win. They never beat the Marlins, that kind of stuff. Let's see what they're like out of the All-Star break. They get swept by the Cubs. We put out that poll, or have you hit the panic button? And majority of people, right, over 50% said, yeah, I already hit it. And then there was like a 25% group of people that said, let's wait until the Braves series happens. And I think majority of people thought that they were going to lose that series. I wonder how they're feeling today after they win. So the Phils win game 1 against the Braves. You were here with me. Dead silent.
Yes.
Like, nobody wanted to go, good win for the Phillies. Nobody wanted to say it. And I thought that win was monstrous, right? Because, A, I thought they were going to lose the series against the Braves or even get swept. So now you avoid the sweep. You also snap what would have been a 4-game losing streak. You get swept by the Cubs. That's hideous. That's gross. That's disgusting. But you win game 1 of the series, and that kind of stops the skid. Because who knows how far it could have gone had they lost 4 games in a row. They lose to Strider. That's 5 games in a row. The vibes might be different yesterday afternoon. Maybe they get swept by the Braves, and it gets swept twice to start the second half of the season. But they win game 1, and there's nothing. They lose the second game of the series. Now, I was not in yesterday. But I saw social media on, what would that be, Tuesday night. And it was, I hate this team. This team stinks. Blah,
Same old Phillies.
Same old Phillies. Screw this team. They can't win. No run support for Aaron Nola. Or Aaron Nola comes up small in another big game, even though he's pitched well this season, right? I know it was a big game. I was disappointed, too, by his effort. He was throwing 0-2 fastballs right down the middle of the plate. He was last year Aaron Nola. The way he pitched that game, I'm not just saying numbers, right? I'm saying the way he attacked, the way he approached the Braves lineup yesterday or 2 nights ago was as if he was pitching last year. I hated the approach. And look, he got tattooed a couple of home runs. But it was all screw the Phillies, right? The whole night. Now, I was not in yesterday. I'm sure you guys got Phillies' reaction yesterday, and I'm sure it was mainly negative, correct?
Yeah, mainly negative. I mean, everyone was hyped up about Eagles training camp, obviously, so that kind of overtook. But the few Phillies conversations that we did have, mostly negative.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you something. They won last night, or yesterday afternoon.
Yes.
They just won a series against the Braves that I don't think they had any business of winning.
Maybe the hottest team in baseball.
Yes.
Coming into the series.
I didn't think they had any business of winning this series. Maybe. I thought that there was a good chance they got swept, right? Are people going to kind of be back, or is it still like dead, right? Because I don't know if I'm not going to say people hate this team, right? Like, people don't hate the Phillies. I strongly dislike them at times. I love them. It's like such a love-hate relationship with the Phillies. It's been 11 years since they made the playoffs, and there's a lack of aggression that I'm going to get to in a second. But like, the Phillies win yesterday. They win the series. Very impressive series win. You can't tell me, I'll be in soon, because we're less than 70 games away from the start of the playoffs, right? Like, we are not home stretch yet, but we're pretty damn close.
We're getting close to third.
Yeah,
Round
exactly.
Second, heading to third.
And it's like, all right, so when are you going to get on? And I just wonder, is there like a weird disconnect, dislike with this team? And, you look around the diamond, right? JT Realmuto, forget vaccination status. The stuff that he said about just a little bit of money was just such in poor taste and deserved to get ripped. And so then somebody in the PR staff gets to him and says he has to kind of follow it up when they came back from Toronto. And then he kind of dug the hole a little bit deeper. Like, he's like, well, no, it's personal to me, just a little bit of money. That's not what you say. Just say my bad. Like, I shouldn't have said something like that. I don't know if many people like JT as a guy. He has the worst walk-up song in Major League Baseball.
Easily.
Like, I think people kind of don't like him. And the second he started playing poorly, even though he's on a tear right now, the second he started playing poorly, it was, see, he's not that good. I told you he's not that good. So that's JT. Rhys Hoskins, I think people like. But as I've said, he's sometimes just there.
He's just kind of there.
He's kind of there. He is some really hot stretches and then some really cold stretches and then walks and doesn't know how to play first base, right? Doesn't know where to put his feet. And so he's kind of just there. Bryce Stott, I think we're all excited for. You keep on telling me he's been red hot, and he has been. He's been putting the ball in play. He's been hitting the ball, but still just young, 200 hitter, hopefully. And let's face it, it's not like prospects have really panned out if you're a Phillies fan, right? So forgive me when a guy's hitting below 200, even though he's had a nice stretch since June 1st. Forgive me, Don Brown had a nice stretch at one point, right? Well, maybe. And then there's Alec Boehm, who said I bleep and hate it here, even though he, opened up to it literally later that game, and there was a lot of people that applauded him for it. There's still people that's a bad taste in their mouth. Didi was weird last year, blaming the vaccine for why he sucked. Right? Like, come on, dude, that had nothing to do with it. You're getting up there in age, and you're Joe Girardi's guy. Girardi's not here anymore, but he's still playing. Everybody loves Schwarber, but he hits 200. Center field, you have an awful human being, Odubel Herrera. Matt Vierling got a car shield commercial for what reason, I have no idea.
That's a great question.
I still have no idea to this day. Mickey Moniak's up and down from the minor leagues. And then we all love Bryce Harper, but he's hurt, right? And then the other guy in right field is Nick Castellanos, who just looks miserable every day. He's not playing well, and then that adds to the misery that we all feel toward him. Like, part of me thinks people don't really like the guys on this team. Like, is that, like, Zach Wheeler's a former Met, so maybe that's a weird thing for a lot of people. Aaron Nola has had his struggles in the past. Gibby's Gibby, right? A great outing yesterday, but he'll give up 6 earned runs his next outing. That kind of happens often with him. Tom, do people like this team? Like, we love the Phillies, but do people like this team?
I don't think they dislike this team. I just think anytime people think of Phillies' success, especially recent success, they're always going to think of the 2008 to 2011 Phillies. And everybody loved those teams. Absolutely love those teams. So I think anytime you try and compare a Phillies team that is trying to compete, you're always going to go back to that. You're never going to like his team as much as you did then. I don't know if it's necessarily the disliking of the players. I think it's just basically I'm not trusting this Phillies team, the team as a whole, in general, until they give me a reason to trust them. I've been through too much, not me, people out there. I've been through too much in the past decade where I don't care about a hot week, a hot month, whatever it may be. I'm not trusting this team until they give me a reason to trust the team. And that may mean I'm not trusting this team until they clinch a playoff berth because I haven't seen it so far. So once they get into the playoffs, they've earned my trust back. I feel like a lot of Phillies fans feel that way. I also think it's tough for Phillies fans to trust this team and really buy into this team without Bryce Harper.
Yeah.
I do. I think you're missing.
But look, they're winning games without him. Surprise. Like, still, I keep on saying it.
It makes no sense.
They should have lost this series, but they didn't.
I think because there's still a question mark relatively. He didn't get the pins taken out this past Monday. He keeps saying he's going to come back. We all think he's going to come back. Because there's still a question mark surrounding Bryce Harper when he's coming back, I think that adds to people's distrust, I guess you could say, with this team.
Okay, so you think it's more distrust?
I think so.
Because I see Jay Greco on our YouTube chat saying the JT thing is dead, so drop it. I know for a fact there are people that still dislike him for everything that was said. And again, I'm saying nothing about vaccination status, right? I'm just saying he makes the comment about money, and there are still people that dislike him. And the second he gets out, it's like a quick way for people to boo. We all know it, right? When you go to the game for the first time since something happens, you might still try to voice your displeasure, right? It might happen 6 games ago, but it's my first chance to, be vocal.
Absolutely.
And look, you're seeing with Real Muto every once in a while. Obviously, Castellanos, it's raining boos. He gets into another double play yesterday in a big spot. He deserves every second of it. But, I don't think that is dead. I do think that people don't have player favorites, right? Cryptic Gaming says, JT stinks, bro. He's my least favorite player on the team, not named Herrera. Right, so he comes out right away. He stinks. He doesn't stink. He is still the best defensive catcher in baseball and is hitting the ball better. He's getting, he's getting hot a little bit right now, and he's going to be a big piece. He's been a big piece that they've been winning without Bryce.
Definitely.
He's had the best batting average, I'm pretty sure, since Bryce Harper has gone down on this team. He has uplifted his game since Bryce Harper's gone down. You needed somebody to do it. Schwarber's been doing it with home runs. Castellanos hasn't done squat. So we should be thankful that JT is playing well, or maybe they don't have a plus 500 record since Harper's been out.
Yeah, even Reese, I feel like the past 2 weeks or so, he's just kind of been there. He has those hot streaks, but I haven't seen anything in the past couple weeks, even from a guy like Reese Hoskins.
He was hot at the very beginning, the first couple of games, and then now I'm not saying he stinks by any means. No. He's not really game changing. Reese Hoskins. Or he could change a game. He could change a game, but it's like once every couple of weeks.
And he can change a game negatively, too.
Well, yeah, that was, and
when he's not hitting,
I don't understand what
that's
was
an issue
at all. But so I want to ask you at 610-632-0975, what is your feelings toward this Phillies team? Because they win game 1 against the Braves, and it's crickets because, I get it. They got swept by the Cubs. Nobody wants to really be that fired up about a win against the Braves because they just got swept by the Cubs. That's fair. But then they lose game 2, and it's, let's pour down the hate on this team. Same old Phillies. They stink. They're never going to do anything. They win yesterday afternoon. They win a series I didn't think they would win, and I still think it's crickets. So I want to know, what are your actual feelings toward this team? And is Tom on to something where your distrust for the organization, because it has been so many years since they've made the playoffs? I mean, it's a different manager right now. Totally different roster. The bullpen's actually good for once. The rotation, when healthy, is pretty deep. So it's not the same teams as years past. It's not the same team as last year when they fell apart and didn't make the playoffs. That's why I've been saying all year they are a different team. That's why I've been saying all year that they are going to be a playoff team. But I know that a lot of people still don't want to hear it. So what is it? At 610-632-0975. Now, after all that love I just kind of portrayed for the Phillies, I do have to rip them and explain more as to why it's a love-hate relationship, because I'm angry with them today. The New York Yankees have the second best record in baseball. They lost yesterday, which knocked them out of the number 1 record in all of baseball. The Dodgers have the best record in baseball now.
Shocker.
The Yankees are a winning organization. Historically, right? 28 World Series champions, 27 World Series championships, something like that. A lot of World Series, okay? More than 10 times the amount the Phillies have, okay? Phillies have 2. The Yankees traded for Andrew Benintendi, a player who's on an expiring contract, a player who's hitting 300, a player that fills a position of need, center field for the Phillies, right? Phillies are desperate for a center fielder, so that we don't have to play Odubel and Vierling and Moniak whenever he's back up. You don't have to play those guys. Jairo Munoz, Andrew Benintendi plays every day for the rest of the season. The Yankees traded 3 prospects. The highest one, not Mick Abel status, right, or Logan O'Hoppe. No, they're 19th highest prospect. I know the Yankees farm system's far deeper than the Phillies and far deeper than many teams, but 19th.
It was 19th, 21st, and then one out of the top 30. That's what they traded.
You know what they didn't do, Tom?
What's that, Andrew?
They didn't wait till the freaking deadline to make a move. The Atlanta Braves last year did not wait until the deadline to make a move, and they won the World Series. The Yankees, who have the second best record in baseball, the best one in the American League, they didn't just, let's see what happens. No, they went out and they made a trade, and not for just some random player, for an everyday outfielder. They were aggressive. A team that has won close to 30 World Series championships was aggressive. They are a winning organization, and the Phillies historically are a losing organization. 14 playoff appearances. 14. They've been around since 1800 whatever. They've been around forever, the Phillies. And they made the playoffs 14 times. Now, I thought maybe Dave Dombrowski, new breath of life, would be aggressive. And look what happens. The Yankees went out there and traded me and Tom for Andrew Benintendi. Okay? Do you think that 19th and 21st prospect was ever going to play for the Yankees? Maybe 5 years from now, 6 years from now. They trade for a guy that can help them win this year, and it doesn't matter how many World Series championships they have already won. They are striving to win another one. And the Phillies just sit on their hands. And so Tom texts me this morning, and I'm terrified to hear it, honestly. Tom texts me this morning. We're shooting our ideas back and forth. Sports stuff, side topics. We're going to have a lot of fun today. But I have to rip the Phillies because even though they won yesterday, won a series, they're sitting on their hands. Tom texts me saying, hey, I have some Jason Stark audio for you. You're not going to like it. So I figured, I wasn't in yesterday. I was not listening in the afternoon. Jason Stark joins the afternoon show every Wednesday during the Philly season. So yesterday he was on with Devon. So I figured, I'll wait till I'm on the air to listen to it, to give you my actual reaction. But I'm sure it has something to do with the trade deadline. Is that a nice guess?
That's a great guess.
All right, so it has something to do with the trades, and it has something to do with the Phillies' lack of aggression, or they're not looking for anything big. That's just a guess.
You're on to something.
Because I remember we talked about Noah Syndergaard the other day, and I told you, if that's like their move, I'm not going to be happy. Because a lot of me saying they're going to make the playoffs is banking on them making a move at the deadline. But I'm going to guess from what you told me, because you know how I feel about this team, how much I love them, but also how much I hate them, and how much I think they desperately need to make a move. Your text this morning made me angry, and I don't even know what it is. So we're going to play this Jason Stark audio on the other side, and I'm going to hear it. And then maybe you'll probably call in and say, see, Andrew, this is why I'm not going to like this team. So maybe I'm answering the question right now because Jason Stark's going to say something that's going to piss me off. 610-632-0975. That's the number to get in. Yeah, I got carried away with the Phillies a little bit there. Eagles, training camp started yesterday. I have a question also on the other side regarding the head coach. There's a reason why on Tuesday of earlier this week, I wanted to talk about the coaching staff because I just wanted to focus on the coaching aspect because I knew there was going to be stupidity yesterday. Not from Sirianni, but from a lot of fans because we complain about nonsense. We died to complain about things. I'll explain more coming up on the other side as well. 610-632-0975. So I'm back. Again, thank you, Connor and Tom, for holding down the fort yesterday. 2 more shows. Anthony's back on Monday. So we will talk Phillies. We will talk Eagles. A lot of fun stuff in store for you. All right here, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Huge series win. I'm Tom Alvord, and this update is brought to you by NHTSA. If you speed, there are lots of sounds that you might hear, like the sound of your vehicle crashing, because eventually speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA. Yes, the Philadelphia Phillies won a crucial series over the Atlanta Braves thanks to a 7-2 victory yesterday afternoon. The offense was rolling as the team racked up 10 total hits with 3 separate players in the lineup having multi-hit days. Kyle Gibson gave the Phillies just what they needed as he went 6 innings, allowing just 2 runs with 4 strikeouts. Philadelphia now sits at 51-47 on the season and a half game out of the final wild card spot. They begin a 4-game series with the Pittsburgh Pirates tonight. Zach Wheeler faces off against Zach Thompson. First pitch is at 7:05. We are officially now on day 3 of training camp, coming off of the first practice of the year yesterday. No practice today, however, as the team has a scheduled walkthrough, and that's it for today. Make sure you tune into the afternoon show today at 4 o'clock as Tim McManus gives his training camp update. This update is also brought to you by your local PJ Wellahans. It's way too nice outside to eat dinner at home. Instead, take the family out to PJ's tonight. Whether you're into wings, burgers, or craving a fresh salad, they've got something for everyone. We love our local PJ's. Keep it locked to the Fanatic all day for breaking news and information. I'm Tom Alborn, and you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic.
It's the Anthony Gargano Show on 97.5 The Fanatic.
The boardwalk, the sand, the surf, the sun. Heading down to the shore this weekend, having fun is a sure thing. Here's what's happening this week at the Jersey Shore, brought to you by Philly Pretzel Factory. Whether you're celebrating grads, dads, or just grilling in the backyard, at home or down the shore, don't forget the party tray, the official snack of summer. Nothing says summer like a warm night sky lit up with fireworks. So kick off the weekend every Friday on the Wildwoods Boardwalk with Friday night fireworks. Every spot is a good one to see the fireworks display starting at 10 p.m. The show will be launched from the beach on Pine Avenue and visible from anywhere on the Wildwoods Boardwalk. The perfect way to end your week-long stay or start your weekend off with a bang. So grab a bucket of rivets for the beach and a party tray for the barbecue this summer. Find your nearest store at PhillyPretzelFactory.com. The Boardwalk, the sand, the surf, and Philly Pretzel Factory. Fun is a sure thing.
Hey guys, Bob Cooney here. Start the second part of the baseball season turning K's into cash and big hits into big wins with FanDuel Sportsbook in partnership with Valley Forge. Now new customers can step up to the plate and make a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. Just sign up with promo code BOB, place your first bet, and FanDuel will give you $1,000 back in free bets if you don't win. FanDuel has so many great promotions, and I love it when I win that I get paid faster than a fastball right down the middle of the plate. Are you new to FanDuel? Well, there's no better place to bet America's pastime than on America's #1 sportsbook. So download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and sign up using promo code BOB to get started with your no-sweat first bet up to $1,000.
21 plus and present in PA. First online real money wager only. Refund issued as non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Montgomery County is a mecca for golf fans. Book a golf getaway weekend. Play at one of Montco's 50 beautiful courses. Stay overnight in one of the 80 area hotels. Visit award-winning breweries, wineries, distilleries, and you can enjoy world-class shopping at the King of Prussia Mall, Suburban Square, or the Philadelphia Premium Outlets. To learn more about golf and the many adventures awaiting you in Montgomery County, go to visitvalleyforge.org or check out the John Kincaid Show Golf Tour page at 97.5thefanatic.com/golf tour. It's all presented by the Valley Forge Tourism and Convention Board.
At SS Industries in Collegeville, PA, you'll find amazing people doing great work. SS Industries is the premier manufacturer of straight and spiral stairs as well as sliding artistic doors in the U.S., offering competitive pay and benefits, a secure future, and growth opportunities with on-the-job training. SS Industries is actively hiring for welders, woodworkers, and several other roles. On Wednesday, August 3rd, they are conducting on-the-spot interviews at their Collegeville location from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. For more info or directions, go to ss.industries. That's ss.industries and click on careers.
If this were a Reese's TV ad, you'd be staring at a Reese's peanut butter cup. And sure, my voice is peanut buttery smooth, but still, you need to see the peanut butter cups, right? No? I can really just say Reese's and you'll go get some? Okay. Reese's. 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 Really working, actually. Reese's. Reese's. I'm on to something. Reese's. Reese's. Reese's.
How are your kids getting their news? From their friends? Through social media? Can they ask you questions about what's going on around them? And will you be ready? Kids are exposed to more than you think. Help them understand the world around them and how they fit into it. Family mental health begins with how you respond to the events around us. This station is part of the Beasley Best Community of Caring Focus on Family. For tips on how to talk to your kids and how to develop your own coping skills, visit our website.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
At CSL Plasma, you can make up to $825 this month when you donate plasma at any of CSL Plasma's tri-state area donation centers. That's money you get on a reloadable, prepaid card for doing a good deed. Plasma donations help create therapies to treat patients with rare and serious diseases, and donations are needed now more than ever. The donation process is a lot like donating blood, with a nice chunk of change in your pocket when you're done. As a thank you for your time, you don't need an appointment to donate. Walk-ins are welcome.
Car shoppers, with light inventories and heavy markups, is it even possible to find a fair deal out there? To be sure, Faulkner Buick GMC in Westchester is the region's trusted name for selection and savings, with no markups and nothing priced above MSRP. Fair, honest pricing has been our way for over 30 years. Find the perfect vehicle, whether you pre-order or drive it off the lot today at Faulkner Buick GMC in Westchester on Auto Park Boulevard and at FaulknerAuto.com. To be sure.
More of the Anthony Gargano Show now
on 97.5 The Fanatic.
1028, 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm Andrew Salchunas, filling in for the Cuz. He's back on August 1st. Tom Alvord sitting in my seat today. 10 o'clock hour brought to you by Window Nation. Take advantage of Window Nation's 50% off sale on all style windows. Plus, make no down payment with no payments and no interest for 12 full months. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com. So I'll get into that Eagles conversation that I teased heading into the break in a little bit because, we just got to complain about something at all times. And, I'll get to that coming up in a little bit. But, Tom, you texted me this morning. We were shooting our ideas back and forth, the sports stuff, the Phillies win yesterday, trade deadline I'm angry about, Andrew Benintendi, some Eagles stuff that I have in store for you later on today, the Crock pot, which I used yesterday, and how it's just an absolute game changer, and I don't think gets enough love. I really don't. So we'll talk about that at some point today. But you responded with your list of things, and one of them was Jason Stark audio I have for you. You're not going to like it. And so I can only imagine it has something to do with the lack of aggression at the trade deadline, to which you said, yeah. I have not heard this. I wanted to wait until we were live on the air to hear it. And so, I don't know, can you set it up a little bit for me?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, so I'm listening to Jason Stark on with the afternoon show. Great interview, extremely important interview, his last interview before the trade deadline.
Yeah,
very important.
That's something that we should have cuts for.
Yes, absolutely. I didn't even think that. So I'm listening to him like, wow, this is really good. He says a lot of good stuff. He breaks it down. And he says the Phillies, when it comes to the deadline, are shopping in 3 aisles in the grocery store.
Okay.
And he lists them. So I'm going to play you 3 different cuts, and I would love your reaction to all 3 cuts.
Okay. So what do we got?
We're going to start with the bullpen.
Okay.
Bullpen. Again, if they were going to draw it up, it would be a true closer at an affordable cost. You get so many relievers out there. It's conceivable somebody falls through the cracks and they get that guy they need. I mean, there are dozens of relievers on the market. There will be affordable options. I think Dave will wait on that because the last day you're going to see some panic, I think.
Okay. That's fine. We've been saying for weeks now that they should acquire somebody to bolster the bullpen. It's pretty good right now, but you're really relying on a handful of guys. You're relying on Sirianni. You're relying on Brad Hand. Connor Brogdon has been pitching much better.
Yes.
Alvarado has been good since he got sent down. His last outing was a little dicey, but hey, that's fine. I do kind of still worry that he's a ticking time bomb. But,
me too.
But we'll see. He's been pitching better. Other than that, you go, okay, you've gotten more than I expected out of Andrew Bellotti, but am I going to ride into the playoffs with Andrew Bellotti as a big option? No. Nick Nelson, middle reliever. Come playoff time, I'd rather have a 4-man rotation and use one of the starters, the 5th starter, as a middle relief guy, long relief guy. So you've gotten some contributions, but you should really bolster it. And a name that I heard very early on, probably early in June, was Gregory Soto, who's the closer for the Tigers.
Yep.
So I've been keeping a close eye on him. He's still pitching very well. He is kind of like Alvarado, where he's a little wild, but from also from the left side.
Can't wait.
But much more effective. He's got a 2.43 ERA this year. He had a 3.39 ERA last year, so he got better. He has 18 saves. I don't see how many blown saves he's had, so let me try to find. I mean, he's 2-5 on the year, so clearly he's blown a few. But 35 appearances, 2.43 ERA. Not too bad, right?
No.
The only thing I question is the word that Jason Stark said was closer. I'm still all on board Sirianni Dominguez being the closer. I understand why they would try to pitch him in higher pressure situations, like if the middle of the order's up in the 8th inning. But that's why you have Brad Hand. Brad Hand, a former closer, can then go in and pitch in the 9th inning. But maybe they want a set reliever so that they could use Sirianni Dominguez as their Josh Hader, just from the right side, or they can move all over the place. That's why Corey Knebel was signed to be a closer. He's gotten a little bit better. I wouldn't really trust him in the 9th right now. So we'll see. That cut, I don't totally hate.
No major issues, right?
No.
And he said that there's a lot of options out there. Some could fall through the cracks, and he may be patient towards the end. Maybe they're looking for a guy that can close, but they'd like to use him maybe as an 8th inning guy. No issues with that.
Yeah,
no real issues.
I have no problem with that. And relievers aren't going to cost that much money. I just don't want a guy that's, has an ERA of 5 this year, and you're like, oh, he's had past success. Like,
no, I'm good on that.
That's what the old Phillies did with Matt Klentak, the Brandon Workmans and all those guys. Like, he had a good year last year, even though his career ERA is like in the 6s. So, okay, that's the only thing I'll say about that. But okay.
So next we're going to move over to the rotation, and you may recognize one of the names that Jason Stark mentions.
Okay.
Rotation, especially in the wake of Zach Eflin. They're looking for a number 3, number 4 type starter, someone who can start a playoff game, someone ideally who could start game 3 of a best of 3. So, it won't be Luis Castillo because he's the top of this market, but then after him, Tyler Mahle, Noah Syndergaard, Chad Kuhl, someone like that. Be really surprised if they don't come away with someone who fits that description.
Okay, so I've been really all season long saying I would prefer a top 2 rotation guy, not ace because you have Zach Wheeler. Now, Aaron Nola also pitched a lot better than I expected him to. I did not think that Aaron Nola would have as bad as the year last year. I just think he's pitching a lot better than I expected this year. All right, so they want a number 3. Now the Syndergaard name pops up. Is Noah Syndergaard better than Kyle Gibson?
I think Kyle Gibson is a better ERA right now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So Jason Stark says they want to trade for a guy that can be the 3rd starter in a playoff rotation. Is Syndergaard better than Ranger Suarez?
No, especially not recent.
That's
Ranger
what I'm saying.
Suarez,
Like, okay, so if you want a number 3, give me an actual number 3. Mahle, I guess.
I like the name Mahle.
He would be the number 1 out of those names that he gave.
Cool, I don't hate because he's pitching in Colorado and he still had a pretty okay year this year.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't hate that, but I know you don't love the whole Syndergaard.
Well, because Syndergaard, I don't think he's the 3rd best pitcher on the staff now.
He probably wouldn't be.
That's what I'm saying. So, all right, so you trade for Syndergaard for what? Who are you going to bump out? The only thing you're bumping is the hope that Eflin comes back. Because if Eflin is healthy, he's your number 3. Like, that's not even a debate. And then Gibson's your 4 or Suarez is your 4. Then one of them's your 5. Like, Syndergaard, I don't even know if he's in the rotation. He's gotten worse every year.
I think he'd be in the rotation. He had a nice start to the season this year. He's teetered off a bit. Now, maybe.
Yeah, because he stinks.
That's
no, seriously. He's in the rotation. Who's getting bumped out then?
I think they're have my mindset, similar to my mindset, where they're not counting on Eflin to produce for them this season.
And they shouldn't.
Yes, correct.
But let's say he does come back toward the end of the season. You're not bumping out Gibson or Suarez.
Also, another thing I read on The Athletic, Syndergaard's been pitching every 6 days. They have a 6-man rotation in Los Angeles. So how does that work if he comes here and he's in a 5-man rotation without Eflin here?
Yeah, and
so something that I'm sure
he's had a lot of arm issues in the past. So I don't know. I don't love that idea. Mahle, I'm in. But Syndergaard, I just go, who is he actually replacing right now? I don't think he's that good. But all right, that's the first 2. So I'm not gonna like this one.
So if you go back to our conversation a little bit earlier this week, we mentioned the center field position, and I'll let Jason just say what he has to say.
Third aisle is one that we haven't talked about much, but that's center field. What I'm hearing is this would be a glove-type center fielder as opposed to a thumper. And this could be one of a number of players. Michael A. Taylor, Victor Robles, Jose Siri, Christian Pache, Jake Marisnik. I'm throwing out names. It won't be Brian Reynolds, but somebody who can catch the ball in center field.
Okay.
I don't know if you heard that last part.
Just somebody who can catch the ball in center field.
It won't be Brian Reynolds.
Yeah. Can they explain to me why? Can Dave Dombrowski explain to me why? Is it, we don't want to part ways with any prospects? Why? Proven versus unknown, always.
Which,
especially when a guy's got another 3 years left on his contract.
He also mentioned, and I don't have the cut on me, my apologies.
Okay.
Painter and Abel are a hell no. They've said no on O'Hoppe, McGarry, and Brown, from what I've heard as well. So they are not topping with absolutely not their top two guys, and maybe even that second tier underneath as of now.
Can I ask you a question then about the catcher position?
Sure, absolutely.
You got Real Muto. I know there's a million Garrett Stubbses out there. You still got, what the hell's his name? He's on the team last year.
Marchand.
Yeah. And now you have O'Hoppe.
It's a lot of catchers.
It's a lot of, you should part ways with one of them.
You don't need that many.
You don't need that many catchers on your team. So this pisses me off, okay? What is Christian Pache, one of the names that Jason Stark brought up, do that Matt Vierling doesn't do? Now he said catches the baseball. Vierling hasn't killed you defensively. Christian Pache is hitting 159 this year. He's a career 149 hitter.
That's not good.
Victor Robles is having a better season this year at 239.
Big time prospect coming up. That was years ago.
Yeah. In 2019, he batted 255 and hit 17 home runs. So you go, oh, okay, maybe he's starting to turn things on. He then followed up with 3 home runs, 2 home runs, 3 home runs this year. His batting averages were 220, 203, 239. Oh, his on-base percentage, a speed guy, 293, 310, and 300. So what does Victor Robles do for you? Again, I'd rather just, and he bats right, throws right, so it's not like
you're platooning.
You're platooning with Vierling. And, I'm not saying, no, dear God, please don't bench Matt Vierling. I'm just saying, what are you really getting here out of those names?
A whole lot of nothing. I didn't even recognize the one name that he said. And I, like to think I'm relatively tuned into the game of baseball. Those are all bench pieces, platoon guys.
Like Michael A. Taylor's probably the best one because he's having a better season this year. A whopping 279 batting average with 6 home runs. 350 on base. This is the 9th season of his career. This is the best year he's ever had.
Lefty or righty?
He bats right-handed.
So it's yeah.
So my question is, what are you doing? Because you're not really making your team any better. You're kind of just it's the same guy. All these guys are another Vierling or another Odubel or another Moniak. They're all the same player. So what are you doing that's gonna benefit your outfield? If you want a glove, that means you don't trust Odubel. Then you just play Vierling every day. But if you go, all right, well, we want a left-handed bat. Well, 2 of the guys I just mentioned don't hit left-handed.
And 2 of the best guys in that list.
Yes, of a very weak list.
Yes, correct.
Why wouldn't you want a guy like Brian Reynolds, who can hit the ball well, play a good center field, and you have him under control for 3 years? It's not like you're parting way. Oh, God forbid we trade Logan O'Hoppe for a guy that we'll have for another 3 years. Who knows if O'Hoppe's up in 3 years? Or still on this team. He could be the catcher of the future. I get it. Once Real Muto's contract is over. I don't know. He could suck for all I know.
And Connor and I talked about it a couple weeks ago. Listen, I know everyone loves the top prospects in this organization, especially Dave Dombrowski. That's obvious. Man, if you're talking about getting a guy like Brian Reynolds, who's under team control, who is a very good center fielder that can hit for you as well high in the lineup,
yes.
You're getting him under control and potentially a relief arm as well. Man, I'm parting with a kid in Mick Abel who won't be up in 3 years in a second. That's just me. I'm looking at this team with a win now-ish window, not this year, window. A guy like Brian Reynolds helps you immensely more than a guy like Mick Abel would in these next 3-4 years.
And Brian Reynolds he's also a switch hitter, right?
That's
so
nice.
he fills, you can platoon him, period. He's the platoon. He bats from both sides. And I know his average is down this year at 250 compared to his 302 last year, but he's playing for the god-awful Pirates.
And if that's down a 250 average,
Yes.
you can do a whole lot worse.
And he's got 15 home runs, so he's got some pop. That's more than what Odubel and Vierling have. Is that more than what they have combined?
Probably.
Let's see. Odubel Herrera has 5 home runs. Matt Vierling, is he at 5 yet? I mean, Matt Vierling doesn't even pop up right away on Pro Baseball Reference. Here's Matt Vierling. He has a whopping 3 home runs.
That's 8.
So that's 8. Look, well, let's add Mickey Moniak into the
0
conversation. 0. Hey, for S and giggles, I'll put his 1 career home run into the conversation. So that's 9. And you know what? Let me add Vierling's 5 career home runs, so 2 more. So that's 11.
And Reynolds can also swipe bags as well.
Yes.
Good amount of steals this year.
That makes no sense to me. It really doesn't. And it's because you don't want to part ways with any of your top prospects. And Ari Bluestein checks in. You only give up your top prospects if you're ready to win a title. Yeah, but if you have them under control for 2 more seasons, you could win a title next year. The Phillies could be World Series contenders next season. Everybody's healthy. They add a legit arm like during the offseason, right? Not just a guy like Trevor Malley, right? You get a legit arm during the offseason. I go.
And listen, a guy, and I know new names pop up. Like, you can't wait. A guy like Reynolds is going to be traded at this deadline. So it's not like, oh, we'll circle back and get him next offseason when we're ready to win. No, he's not going to be available. Now, like I said, more guys may be available, but they might not be to the talent level of a guy like Brian Reynolds.
And what happened to this whole Dave Dombrowski, he doesn't care about prospects? What happened to that?
I miss that guy, honestly.
Because remember, people were scared. Oh, he's going to trade away our prospects. What prospects? Who cares? Who cares about the Phillies prospects? They never have any, okay? They all come up here, and they're Scott Kingery. They're Mickey Moniak. They all stink, okay? So why wouldn't you try to part ways with one of these guys? And remember, I said something. I think we've been having this conversation for the last couple of weeks as we've been getting closer to the trade deadline. And you said, and you were smart because I said, how come they're not being aggressive now? And you said maybe other teams are waiting to see what the market is. That's not what Jason Stark said at all. That has nothing to do with market. The only kind of market part of it was the bullpen and how guys are going to end up getting traded. But other than that, he said, no, the Phillies are going to go get Victor Robles. Yippee.
And Noah Syndergaard, potentially.
And that's why I understand why people feel a certain type of way about this team.
Now, listen, these moves realistically could hit. There's a big possibility that if they get a guy like Daniel Bard or a guy like Gregory Soto and a guy like Trevor Malley, and they perform up to their standards because they have a lot of talent, those 2 guys, you could have a legit number 3 and an 8th inning guy that you can count on, and it could work out. But those are big question marks, too. Like, it could also be a guy like Syndergaard, who maybe could have some injury issues, or a guy like Chad Kuhl, who's really only had like a good season and a half. So, like, in theory, it could work out perfectly, but it could also not work out, and we could be a month away from the deadline and like, wow, what did we really get here?
And again, my disgust with the organization right now, even though I love them, comes from those cuts that you just played me. Thanks a lot, Tom. It's also the Benintendi thing. So Jason Stark said, hell no to Mick Abel and Andrew Painter?
Correct.
I'm sorry. Are Mick Abel and Andrew Painter the Yankees' 19th highest prospect?
No.
The Yankees gave up nothing for a player who, final year of his deal. That's fine. Maybe you try to work something out during the offseason, or maybe you get a better center fielder in free agency, or maybe you have a guy in the farm system. You do something. The Yankees traded away nothing for a guy who they could play every day in center field for them. They can move Judge, Stanton, whoever they want to move around. They can DH one of those 2 guys. Benintendi can play every day for them.
So let's say they gave up their 19th and 21st prospects. Let's say the Phillies have to give up their, 12th prospect.
Yeah, because their prospects aren't as good as the Yankees. I understand that.
There's a guy like Jordan Vyers do much for you.
Who?
Yes. Casey Martin.
No, I don't care.
Kendall Simmons, their 15th ranked prospect.
I'd rather have Ben Simmons. Yeah. Or maybe is that Kendall Jenner? Did she actually marry Ben?
It's a great question.
I don't know.
Would you rather have those guys in 3 years than a guy like Andrew Benintendi?
Yeah, I want Casey Martin. Yeah, screw Andrew Benintendi.
Sorry, dude. Hate to bum you out.
I just, I love this organization, and yet this is the stuff I get. So a couple tweets come in. This from the Sports Dad 215. Because I asked earlier, do you just not like this team? Because I feel like people don't really like this team. They just took 2 of 3 against the Braves. We should be, play the song, tune his train, all that kind of stuff. But it's crickets. So Sports Dad goes, it's the distrust with this organization, the fact that once again they're not being aggressive and being patient. Needed to make moves weeks ago, and there's not one good reason that Benintendi shouldn't be in our outfield. It's a disgrace having bullpen games. Bullpen games happen in Major League Baseball, but usually they have good bullpens, these teams. Also, the Benintendi thing, you're right. There's no, you can't tell me why he's not on this team.
Yeah.
Like Dave Dombrowski, whenever he has his post-trade deadline press conference, if somebody asks, hey, how come Andrew Benintendi's not on this team? He can't give you a good reason. Wow.
We didn't want to part with the top prospects.
Yeah.
It didn't cost you your top prospect.
Yeah, but Dave, it was the 19th overall prospect and some change. Yeah, well, yeah, I'm still working on the prospects here, right? So that'd be a little bit higher for us. Okay, Dave. So you're happy with Christian Pache? Oh yeah, love him. I think he's going to turn the season around.
Ton of potential.
Bryant Brothers checks in. I hope the Phillies don't wait till it's too late to make a move. It's a difference between winning organizations and losing ones. There you go. The Yankees are a historic winning organization. The Phillies, historic losing organization. But that shouldn't make any difference right now, right? That should do nothing right now. It should just be, it's a new year, it's a new page, new chapter. Oh God, that bothers me, man. All right, so Phillies are on the table. 610-632-0975. They disappointed me so much today. As much as I love them, as fired up as I am that they won yesterday. This stuff happens. Disappointed me so much that I still haven't gotten to the Eagles. I have an Eagles-related question that I will open up on the other side to start the 11 o'clock hour. We have morning thoughts coming up at 11:10, and I have a lottery-related question now that it's over. I didn't win. It's over $1 billion.
Well, you're here, so yeah.
It's over $1 billion now. I would probably still come in, out of respect, to hang out with you.
I appreciate that. I don't believe you, but I appreciate it.
Maybe I'd throw you $20. Here you go, Tom.
What a nice guy you are.
For your troubles.
Thanks for
the last couple
a third of a tank of gas.
Yeah, you're
appreciate
welcome. But yeah, I have a lottery-related question at 11:10. I have an Eagles fandom-related question because I don't understand why we're constantly finding things to bitch and moan about. But yeah, and the Phillies. Here we are now. If you could, Tom, I'd like you to put up a poll. If they don't make a move, try to word it some way. But if they don't make a move of note, which I talked about the other day, where are we as Phillies fans? Because the St. Louis Cardinals are, a half a game ahead of the Phillies right now in the wild card?
Yep, they won last night.
They're rumored for Soto.
Yes, they are.
And they're just a half game ahead of the Phillies for the final wild card spot. They're not the first wild card spot, second wild card spot. They're not winning the division right now. They're the third wild card spot, and they're rumored to get Juan Soto. They're gonna try to get him. They are a historic winning organization. Phillies are not. The Padres are a small market team. They're kind of waiting for Tatis Jr. to come back, but I'm sure they're gonna make a move.
Oh yeah, they've been rumored with Soto as well.
Yeah, Braves won the World Series last year. It's not like they're in first place of the division right now. They're a wild card team. They're probably going to make a move. What's the difference between the Phillies and the Cardinals? Seriously, what's the difference between the Phillies and the Cardinals right now? There is none. They're a half a game.
Yes,
that's the difference.
That's very minimal.
610-632-0975. My Nick Sirianni question on the other side. Also, morning thoughts coming up at 11:10. We're filling in for the Cuz till the first, right here, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Alec Boehm, red hot. I'm Tom Alvord, and this update is brought to you by Bally's Atlantic City. The all-new Bally's Atlantic City introduces The Yard, a brand-new indoor-outdoor beer garden just steps from the boardwalk. Visit Bally'sAC.com. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Yes, the Phillies offense came up huge yesterday, leading the way to a huge series win over the Atlanta Braves. Alec Boehm had another big day as he went 2 for 4 with 2 runs and 2 RBIs in the Phillies' 7-2 win. He now has a hit in 12 consecutive games, and the batting average is up to .293 on the season. Philly now sits at 51-47 on the season, just a half game out of the final wild card spot, as Andrew just mentioned. They head to Pittsburgh now for a 4-game series with the Pirates, who come into the series 18 games under 500. First pitch for game 1 is at 7:05. We are now officially on day 3 of training camp, coming off the first practice of the year yesterday. No practice today, however, as all the team has scheduled today is a walkthrough. Make sure to tune in to the afternoon show at 4 o'clock today as Tim McManus gives his training camp update. This update is also brought to you by Huntington Valley Bank. Fast-growing, best bank for your business, celebrating 150 years as a top contender in local banking. Keep it locked to The Fanatic all day for breaking news and information. I'm Tom Alborn. You're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic.
Anthony Gargano, weekdays 10 to 2 on 97.5 The Fanatic.
In the Delaware Valley, helping each other isn't just a neighborly thing to do. It's in our blood. It's in our plasma, too. In fact, over the years, thousands of Philadelphia area residents have helped people they'll never even meet by donating plasma at local CSL plasma donation centers. Your plasma donations have been instrumental in our efforts to create new therapies for patients living with rare and serious diseases, and have helped us provide medicines and vaccines to people in more than 100 countries around the world. We're proud to be part of this community, and we can't wait to say thank you in person at local events in the community throughout the summer. So please, when you see the CSL tent, stop by to cool off, hydrate, and grab a fun giveaway. Interested in other ways you can partner with CSL to improve patients' quality of life? Ask us about participating in one of our clinical trials or learn more at cslbearingtrials.com. That's cslbearingtrials.com. We thank you for all that you do, Philadelphia, because together we are saving lives.
Hey guys, Bob Cooney here. And imagine if your favorite casino came with an undo button. You get that with FanDuel Casino's Play It Again. Get up to $1,000 back if you're down after your first day. Play your favorite table games and hundreds of slots for real cash. See why FanDuel Casino is the #1 rated online casino app. I love to explore the daily and weekly promotions. I play with live dealers, and if I ever have a question, well, the best-in-class customer support team helps me 24/7. Sign up for FanDuel Casino with promo code Bob today and play it again with up to $1,000 back if you're down after your first day. That's promo code Bob.
21 plus and present in PA. Must not have previously placed any wager on FanDuel Sportsbook, FanDuel Casino, Betfair Casino, Mohegan Sun Casino, or Stardust Casino. Refund issued as non-withdrawable casino-only site credit that expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/casino. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit FanDuel.com/RG.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Thinking about gas mileage. An oil change with quality oil like Pennzoil Platinum Full Synthetic can help your engine get more out of every mile. Right now, you can get 5 quarts with an STP Extended Life Oil Filter for only $35.99. Get what you need for better fuel efficiency at any of our 6,200 stores or on AutoZone.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Did you know that shapes have sounds? This is the sound of a square. Because it's Wendy's fresh, never frozen beef served up on those hot and juicy hamburgers. And this is the sound of a circle. Not the Arctic Circle, but a circle of frozen beef that's flash frozen somewhere else. And this is the sound of a triangle. Anyway, when you want hot and juicy hamburgers, go for the square at Wendy's. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's hot and juicy hamburgers.
Fresh beef available in the contiguous U.S., Alaska, and Canada.
Guys, are you tired of swing and miss performance issues? Stop striking out in the bedroom and call Iron Mountain Men's Health today. This is Dr. Avi Donapel, founder of Iron Mountain Men's Health. My team of physicians will create a custom treatment plan for your ED and low testosterone that's safe, effective, and designed to treat your specific symptoms. Schedule your free consultation today so you can knock it out of the park this summer. Call or visit us online to book your appointment at ironmountainmenshealth.com. Iron Mountain Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health.
Come to Barlow Chevrolet in Delran this summer where savings are heating up. We're offering discounts below MSRP on select vehicles in stock. We have several Equinox, Silverado, and even Tahoe inbound. Reserve yours today. If there's a specific vehicle you want, order it from Barlow with no additional dealer fees or markups. At Barlow, we keep the buying process simple, convenient, and hassle-free. Start your summer off right at Barlow. Find new roads in Delran or at barlowchevrolet.com.
I want to make the most of summer without breaking the bank.
So I shopped Kohl's Friends and Family sale. With my 25% off coupon, I headed to the store and got shorts for $14.99, plus an extra 50% off a swimsuit, 40% off patio furniture, and $20 off as a Kohl's Rewards member. More style and more savings for the win. Select styles, $20 off of $100 valid in store only. 25% offer ends July 31st in store only. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
And now coming in at number one. It's Kentucky Fried Chicken's $5 Mac and Cheese Bowl.
Mac and cheese, chicken and cheese. Mac and cheese, chicken and cheese. KFC. Mac and cheese, chicken and cheese. Mac and cheese, chicken and cheese. For $5.
Oh, yeah, baby. Order KFC's $5 mac and cheese bowls on the app. Back for a limited time in original or spicy. That's finger-licking good. Price and participation may vary for a limited time only.
You know, energy costs can dramatically affect your company's bottom line. How about putting 30 to 40% of those costs back into your company at little or no cost to the company? At Beyond the Bulb, they provide energy efficiency upgrades to commercial and industrial customers in the PECO and PPL utility service areas. They're energy efficiency experts. They were just awarded the PPL Direct Discount Contractor of the Year. They're going to use local rebate programs to help offset the costs to your business. So go to beyondthebulb.com. That's beyondthebulb.com, or dial 484-246-6542 for a brighter bottom line.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station, home of the most entertaining sports talk in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
11 o'clock, 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm Andrew Salchunas, filling in for the Cuz. He will be back on August 1st. We got morning thoughts in 11 minutes at 11:10, so we'll get to that coming up soon. Just had something pop up on my timeline, Tom, and you as a big baseball fan would remember this. Now, I've talked about this in the past. When I was in high school, I had like serious sleeping issues where I didn't sleep. Like it was like I would go like 3 days. Like not sleep.
Doesn't seem healthy.
No, it wasn't. And I don't know. It's not like I started doing anything different that changed it. Like it just got better. Right? Like, and that's why, but I'm like still used to it.
That's weird.
And I'm still used to it. So when people go, oh man, how are you handling lack of sleep with the baby? It's actually, I'm okay.
Like were you up playing video games or something? Or you just like were like rolling around in bed?
Dude, I would lay in bed, just stare up.
I would have nights like that in high school.
Oh, dude, it was like all the time. It would go a couple days.
That's crazy.
Yeah, then
you
finally,
take
like,
naps or anything?
Finally, pure exhaustion would set in, and like I just like finally wipe out.
Man,
yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're
probably why I didn't do well in school because I like wasn't sleeping. That's the reason why. But something happened yesterday. Was a 11-year anniversary of something. Do you remember the Pirates Braves game that went 19 innings, and there was a play at the plate? And the guy was out by a mile, and the umpire called him safe.
Vaguely.
And I'll text it to you right now. And Julio Lugo was on the Braves. He didn't even like touch home plate, right? And the guy called him safe. He went back and touched home plate. This is pre replay,
yes,
or anything. And I remember that was like when the conversation started of, all right, we desperately need replay in Major League Baseball.
And that was just ready to get home.
That was like 11 years ago. Yesterday. And it was 19 innings. I watched like 15 of it. Like
Did you really?
Like I think Pirates
Braves.
I was up, right? Like I was up. And so I think I finally eventually fell asleep one of those nights where I slept like an hour or two. It was 19 innings. It was a 7-hour long baseball game. And I watched like the majority of it. And then I remember going to bed and waking up the next morning and going, oh, I'm curious, how did that end? And I like went on, ESPN or something.
Yeah.
And saw that. I was like, are you serious?
Yeah,
That's how that game ended. I was up for 15 innings of it.
He was out by a good 5 feet.
Yeah. Yeah. And the umpire called him safe. So just popped up on the top. I filed so many baseball things that it was like
it was bound to happen.
The guy's still not safe.
I may have said it. There was the one game where I forget who it was against, Phillies game a couple years ago, probably like 5 years ago, and it went into like 15 innings or something like that. And I was staying at my girlfriend's at the time, and I was watching it on my phone, and I stayed up the entire time, and I had like CBS or ESPN notifications, and I got the notification that the game ended on a walk-off home run before the game ended. So I'd stayed up till 2 a.m. waiting to watch it, and it was ruined for me.
Oh,
thanks
that
to notification.
sucks.
I think it was a position player pitching, too, and like some backup for the Phillies hit a walk-off home run. I'll remember it, but I was just like...
And when was this?
She was in Delaware, so probably like 5 years ago.
Was it the Valdez game when he was pitching?
It may have been.
Or was it when Velasquez threw the guy out at home?
It wasn't that one. It was before then. It was some backup catcher or something like that hit it, or backup outfield or something. And it was a position player pitching because it was like inning 18 or 17 or something. And I spent all night staying
Eric
up.
Kratz,
for
the backup
nothing.
catcher?
No, I don't think so.
Cameron Rupp?
No, it wasn't Rupp. I'll find it. But it was another one of those like, wow, I can't believe
that sucks.
Wasted
Yeah,
a lot
that
of time.
sucks that got spoiled for you. All right, before we get to morning thoughts, just coming up in 7 minutes, I do have a question about the Eagles. It is kind of fascinating to me that nobody wants to talk about the Phillies right now, which, we'll get into that conversation coming up. But so training camp starts yesterday. Now I'll ask you, Tom. You were on the air. I was off yesterday. I'm guessing people were fired up yesterday. Training camp begins. You guys were probably going through all the videos. You probably read all the live tweeting from the beat reporters and the stats. And I'm sure every time there was like a Jalen Hurts played well, I'm sure everybody was super excited. But then if he threw an interception, people were like, "Why are you even tweeting this out? You hate the Eagles."
The first pass that circulated, Brandon Lee Galton tweeted it out, and it was a pass behind A.J. Brown.
I saw that one in the end zone,
freaking out about it.
But they're angry. People are angry when you post something negatively.
Yes.
Oh, it's just training camp. Get over it. But then Jalen Reagor makes a one-handed catch, and it's like, whoa!
Look at this.
Oh, that's why they drafted him first round, because one-handed catches in the joint practice. So I'm sure that was a lot of it yesterday. People were fired up when things were good and very angry when things were bad.
Yes, and pretty much, and for the most part, people seem to realize that it is just training camp and it wasn't too much of a reaction, at least what we noticed.
Now, can I ask you something? I don't know if you guys got any calls on it or if you got any interaction on YouTube or Twitter about it, but I saw it on the timeline. And I know other hosts in the city talked about it. Can I ask you something, Tom? Why are we still complaining about what shirts Nick Sirianni wears?
It's a great question.
Now, did that come up at all yesterday?
It did not. Not on the phones, not in conversation at least.
Because I saw it on Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw people talking about it. And why do we have to complain about something? Right? I get, when there's something to bitch and moan about, we are good. We're good at it, right? But sometimes I feel like we're constantly trying to find something to complain about, right? How about we be happy for once? So Nick Sirianni wears a Jalen Hurts shirt yesterday.
It's a cool shirt, by the way.
Now, I remember last year the argument over the Brandon Graham shirt. Well, what if he has to cut him? Well, he's not cutting Brandon Graham. Jalen Hurts might not be the quarterback next year, but he is this year. So, look, he's rocking the shirt. That's great. I also saw people complaining that he had a nice handshake with Jalen Hurts. And I saw stuff like, he's too tight with him. He's too close with him. What if he has to sit him down? No, it's his team. Gardner Minshew can hang out in his van down by the river. He can do that if he wants. But it's Jalen Hurts' team for at least this season. Might not be next year. But for this year, he's the starting quarterback of this team. Sirianni wants to have a handshake with his guy. Go for it. He wants to rock his T-shirt. Go for it. The reason why, Tom, and I planned this out purposely, that we had the Sirianni, Steichen, Gannon conversation on Tuesday before the first practice was because I didn't want to have to talk about this. I'd rather have just focused on the football aspect of Nick Sirianni as the head coach. Do you like him? Do you not? Do you believe he's the guy? We ran that poll question. Would he have a longer tenure than Doug Peterson, which was 5 seasons? Majority of people said yes.
Yep, they did.
Majority of people said yes, and Doug Peterson won a Super Bowl. That's great. I'm glad that we had that conversation on Tuesday because for the life of me, I don't understand why we have to find something to bitch and complain about. I'm not calling out everybody. I'm not. This is probably the vocal minority. But what's the honestly, Tom, is there a reason, just like there's no reason the Phillies shouldn't have acquired Andrew Benintendi, is there a reason why we need to complain about Nick Sirianni wearing a Jalen Hurts T-shirt? Can you give me an actual good reason? Because no, he's not. He doesn't have a quarterback battle this year, so he's not siding with anybody. It has nothing to do with the future of the team as this year. So what's wrong with him wearing the Hurts T-shirt? Why do we have to complain?
I think some people out there just complain for the sake of complaining. I think people enjoy being negative just to be negative. I mean, we see it with the Phillies all the time. We see it with the Sixers. Like, they could win 9 in a row, the Phillies. They lose that 10th game, and
screw the Phillies, same old team.
Don't get your hopes up. They're going to be the same old Phillies.
I got that.
Oh, I know
when they
you
won
did.
9 straight with Thompson.
You got the
fun
train
police.
crashing.
Yeah, I got the train crashing gifts after they lost. They won 9 straight, and then I had the fun police out
I think people are negative just for the sake of being negative. They complain just for the sake to complain, and that doesn't sound like a fun life to me. Hey, you do you. But to me, I try and enjoy things when I can, every now and then.
I don't get it, man. Like, dude wants to rock a T-shirt, rock the T-shirt. I don't care. Dude wants to have a handshake with Jalen Hurts. Cool. That's awesome. Like, connect with your players. Maybe in today's NFL, it's a little bit different, where it's not just like, no, you're his boss. Like, if Chuck D'Amico wants to have a handshake with me, that's kind of cool.
If he wore a
he
Tom
might fire
Alvord
me
shirt.
next week, but
That's a good point. It's Tom Alvord shirt he's wearing. I'd be like, that's pretty cool.
That's pretty
Kinda
awesome.
Weird, but pretty cool.
Thanks for rocking my face on your shirt, and thanks for having my back. You might fire me soon, but like, at least I feel kind of confident today. Today I see that shirt, I feel good about that.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to come up with a handshake? All right, that sounds great. Love that. But there's people that find the need to have to complain about it, and I honestly don't know why. And we're gonna do something later on today about that, the stuff that we've overly complained about in the past in Philadelphia sports, because there's so much of it, and I don't understand it. But I need to know. At 610-632-0975, alongside our Phillies conversation, and we'll get to the poll before morning thoughts. Why? Why do we feel the need to have to complain about something like Nick Sirianni wearing a T-shirt? You might not be the person that's complaining, but I'm trying to find this out. I'm trying to figure out why. So maybe you might have some insight. Maybe you know that person that is complaining. Oh, my God, look at this guy. He had another analogy yesterday, right? Talking about climbing a mountain.
Climbing mountains, yes.
The reason why we had the conversation on Tuesday about Nick Sirianni was so I could avoid T-shirt talk, so I could avoid handshake talk, and so I could avoid press conferences. Because there were people in this damn building, Tom, that thought he wasn't going to be a good head coach because of his introductory press conference.
Yes.
It's stupid. Like, let the guy talk. Who cares how he talks? If the guy's a good coach, he's a good coach. So I wanted to avoid all that kind of stuff. But here we go, another analogy. Listen, the flower thing worked last year. So, you want to climb mountains, okay? Like, I don't really care. I don't care what he has to say to the press in the press conferences. I don't care what he wears. I don't care about any of that kind of stuff. But I know people complain about it, so I want to know why. Why? The poll, please, Tom.
Sure. Since you asked so nicely.
Yeah,
the poll of the day, as always, is brought to you by Marvin E. Cans Heating and Air Conditioning. Marvin E. Cans Heating and Air Conditioning is open and able to assist you with any emergency service and replacement needs, including installation of air scrubbers and other air quality products. Visit marvinecans.com. On the official 97.5 The Fanatic Twitter account, if the Phillies don't make a noteworthy move before the deadline, are you out on the season? You're not going to like this. Yes, must make team better at 46%.
Okay.
No, still a good enough team at 36%.
You're lying to yourself.
Already out 18%.
Why?
I don't know.
I get it. There's people that don't like baseball. So be it. But, I remember 2008, there were people that didn't like baseball that were in.
Yes.
Because, it was the talk of the town. If they go on a run to make the playoffs for the first time in 11 years, where were you 11 years ago, right? Like stop and think for a second. Like, what were you doing 11 years ago? I just told you about a Pirates-Braves end of a game 11 years ago, right? Like, where were you? I was in high school not sleeping, watching that game, okay? Where were you 11 years ago? So I don't know why you'd be already out.
1/5 of the fan base.
But I know that people don't like this team. I can tell. That's why I opened up the show with it. Like, people don't like this team. People don't like individual players, multiple individual players, and they don't like the organization because of the losing ways. I don't blame you for that. But when things are going well, like they just won a series against the Braves, shocks me. All right, 610-632-0975. Chew on all the stuff I just gave you, but it's time now for some morning thoughts.
Wake up, Philadelphia!
No! God, please, no! No!
Time now for morning thoughts.
Hey, lady! Shut up! Will you just shut your trap? Shut up!
Please go away. Let me sleep for the love of God.
Because What were you thinking about this morning?
All right, so I didn't really have like a morning thought like when I first woke up, but I thought of one down the road because I checked my email and I saw the email yesterday, and I read this email probably around like 6:30, 7 o'clock this morning, and I was like, oh, well, I got to go find my $2. I take it you got the email from Greg Monahan, correct?
Yes, correct.
Greg Monahan does an incredible job with all kinds of graphics that we have. You see the graphics online. You also see the graphics. Do we have something right now? Oh no, there was the James Harden beard behind me for a while. There's stuff behind Tom. Oh, the beard's behind you. There's all kind of stuff behind you. That's all put together by Greg Monahan. So Greg Monahan put out the email. Bring $2 down to my desk by the end of the day tomorrow, because the Mega Millions is now the Mega Billions. It's over $1 billion. Now, I'll ask you first, Tom, did you bring down $2 to him?
I have not. I can still do it, right?
Yes, by the end of the day.
I'm going to do that.
And now I have to ask, because I think you should do it. I was thinking about this morning. If your office lottery pool wins.
Yes.
And you didn't put the $2 down. You got to quit, right?
Yeah, I feel like you do have to quit.
You can't
They're already getting a lot of people quitting anyway.
Well, that's number one, right? Like, all the people that win, I guess, leave the job. But then if you didn't play the lottery, the simple $2, you didn't put in the $2, you're now walking in here every day, and you're reminded every day that you didn't play the company lottery pool.
I remember a story probably like 5-10 years ago coming out that a dude did it every single week, put the $2 in at work, and he didn't do it 1 week.
No way.
And they won that week he didn't do it. Now, they gave him money because he always did it.
Okay.
But the 1 week he didn't do it, or 1 month, whatever it was, they ended up winning that month.
Now, good on them for giving him the money. Good on him for doing that.
Which they didn't have to do.
They did not have to do that. But look, I mean, there's multiple. This is a company-wide, we have 5 radio stations in this cluster, and there's the sales staff, there's everybody behind the scenes that we talk about every once in a while, like Greg Monahan, right? So you can't give it to everybody who didn't put in $2.
No.
So I'm honestly curious, if let's say you didn't put the $2 in, and I win, right? Would you stick around? Because then you'd probably get my job, which is a good spot, right? Midday producer, right? Full time, you get benefits, get a salary, but you're also reminded every day that you could be a millionaire.
Of what could have been.
And so then I wonder, these company-wide pools, when somebody wins, does that company just go under? Think about it. Let's say you have a law firm.
Yeah.
And you have, the 6 best lawyers on the East Coast, and they win the lottery, and they all quit. Now you're scrambling to find lawyers, right? And then
that are on par with the lawyers you had, which you're not going to get.
But you're probably going to hire a couple of not so good lawyers out of necessity because you need to keep the law firm open. And now the law firm stinks because you lost your top lawyers. So do companies go
That's a great question.
Again, my mind works in mysterious ways. And that's what my mind has been stuck on all day. I personally, if I didn't put the $2 in and the lottery hit, I would not come back to work. I wouldn't come in here because I would be reminded every single day. Because I would not see the people that did win. And I'd be like, God, that guy left because he won millions of dollars.
The issue is then, now you don't have a lottery ticket or lottery winning ticket, and you don't have a job.
I don't care.
Because you quit,
I'll find a new one.
Okay.
For my own personal self-care.
Sanity.
I could not come in here. I couldn't make the drive to Bala Cynwyd every single day, park in this parking lot, walk up to the 4th floor, and walk into this building, not seeing, half the people because I didn't play the $2.
Yeah, I have big time karma kind of thing with that where hey, did you put the $2 in for the lottery? No, but I will. I have to because I just feel in my mind that they're going to win if I don't put it in.
Put the $2 in.
Yes. I always think that.
Now, one more thing.
Sure.
Before I get to your morning thought. I kind of wanted to keep this a secret because by the grace of God, we might win. You never know. I'm going to pat myself on the back here. I put $2 in for Anthony.
Did you? That's a good move.
Because if he was here, he would put $2 in.
He absolutely would.
I also said to Greg Monahan, if I didn't put $2 in for him and he would think I didn't think of him, I think I would die. Like, I think he would find whatever island I moved to.
Correct.
And he would murder me.
He absolutely
would.
I
think he would kill me.
I don't know if I would blame him, honestly.
No, I wouldn't either. Because he'd be like, dude, what the bleep? Like, why didn't you? And I personally, like, I would feel weird. Like, would I just split? Like, would I give him my half?
He would come in so excited. Oh, my God, I can't believe he won it. Thank you, Chunas. You put it in, right?
Oh, I wouldn't even be here. I'd be gone.
You'd be gone.
I'd be gone. He'd be like, where's Chunas at?
Go to your house
Chunas won the millions of dollars. He put $2 in. And then he'd go, wait, did he not think of me? I thought that was a good move on my part.
Yes, that was a good move. That's a great job.
Because I would feel terrible.
And it's smart move too. Not just a good. It's smart because now you'll be alive.
Chance. That's true.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Well, no
yes.
You'll be
and
alive.
I'll be alive.
Living.
Yeah. To actually enjoy my millions of dollars. But yeah. So like, part of me goes like, I had this thought like, oh, if we win, I could be like, hey man, just want to let you know, lottery pool happened. And we won. And then he'd be like, oh my God, you didn't put my name in. And then I'd say I did. And I'd be like, here's your like $40 million.
That'd be nice.
So I didn't bring $2 in for you. I figured you're here.
Yeah. You figured. I figured you figured. All good.
What's your morning thought, Tom?
Yes. So I had kind of a bummer morning thought because news.
Oh, good.
I'd love to bring the mood down. News circulated last night, and then I saw it again this morning. Mike Trout, he's dealing with a rare condition in his back that he likely will have to manage through the rest of his career. That is according to Angels head athletic trainer Mike Frostad, I believe is how you say his name. He's out in the IL with a rib injury. He says he expects to play this season, but I feel like we're starting to see the breaking down of Mike Trout. I believe he's in his late 20s. I should have looked it up before this. We're starting to see the breaking down of Mike Trout, and that kind of sucks because Mike Trout might be one of the greatest players of all time. And it kind of got me thinking of how hard it is to have a long, successful career when you're one of these all-time greats. We have Albert Pujols and Miguel Cabrera still in the league right now, and people kind of make fun of them to an extent, quote unquote, because these guys are just out there just because of the name. They really shouldn't be out there. But they're still, Albert Pujols hit a home run again last night. They're still contributing.
He went 3 for 4 yesterday.
Yeah, they're still contributing to an extent. So Albert Pujols is 42 years old and he's still contributing. It got me thinking how hard it is to actually have one of these all-time great careers. And it also got me thinking we should appreciate these guys more than just bashing them. Any guy.
That's why I was pro Pujols in the home run derby. You were hello Potney Kettle.
We didn't need that.
You're
no.
Mr.
That's
he
too much
be
appreciation.
And then he beat Schwarber.
Too much appreciation.
Those rigged, but whatever.
Absolutely was rigged. But I don't know. We're so quick to bash guys like Patrick Mahomes.
Well, look, I'll bash Udonis Haslam because he hasn't played in 8 years.
He is not an all-time great. No, that is not nearly the same extent. But guys like that, a LeBron James, a Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, we're so quick to bash. And they can be bashed at moments, but when we really should be appreciating
look at James Harden. James Harden's a top 75 player all time. He's hated nationally.
And it also got me where does he rank in terms of greatest players you've seen hitter-wise? Because Albert Pujols, Barry Bonds is up there. Albert Pujols, Miguel Cabrera, he's right in that tier when it comes to some of the greatest players I've ever seen. I'm only 27. I know you're 28 now. Wow, I'm 28. That sucks.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
I mean, dude, he's up there. He is up there, and it's funny. I've had this thought cross my mind. Right, baseball was my best sport playing wise. I football didn't work out for me. Basketball didn't work out for me. Hockey, I didn't even attempt on skates because I tried skating once and I fell and I was like, yeah, no, this ain't for me.
I'm out.
Why am I what is this thing? I'd rather run on flat ground. Baseball, I played at a decent level, right? And then I realized, okay, so I had a chance to walk on to a team, and I didn't,
In college, right, yeah.
So I wasn't good enough to play D1 college, right? Could have played D3, but I wanted to, go to school, right? D3 college.
Enjoy yourself a little bit.
It wasn't going to do anything for me,
yeah.
right? Whatever. I wasn't good enough to make D1. There are D1 guys that aren't good enough to make the minors, let alone independent leagues like the River Sharks, RIP. And then you go, there's guys that are in single A that never make it to double A never make it to triple A, never make it to the big leagues. And then there's Mike Trout, who it's hard to have a sustained career, like you just said, because of the injury stuff. But dude, think about how bad you are at sports.
Oh, awful.
Like, think about it, because you're not even close.
I'm dreadfully
not
bad
even
at
close.
sports.
And so we sit here and I go, oh my God, they're going to try and trade for Christian Pache, who hit under 200. He plays in my Sunday league. He's in the Hall of Fame.
He's batting 1,000, literally.
It is crazy.
It's crazy the difference. It really is.
It is crazy the difference, and it is crazy to think about. Like, yeah, it's got to be tough. It's got to be tough to sustain that kind of career. So 610-632-0975 is the number to climb in. We have the Phillies and we have the Eagles. I gotta honestly ask you, like, what's the deal with the bitching and moaning about Nick Sirianni wearing a T-shirt that has Jalen Hurts' face on it? Like, who cares? Like, why are you complaining about it? Phillies, you just heard the poll. People are already out on this team after just winning a series against the Braves. But if they don't make a move at the deadline, and we'll replay the Jason Starr cuts coming up as well, because I heard it for the first time this morning on the air, and I didn't like it. I want to react to what Jason Stark had to say. Reliever is an area that they're going to try to attack, but that's about it. Center field, don't get too excited. We have a lot more in store for you as well. 610-632-0975. I'm Andrew Salchunas, filling in for the Cuz, who will be back August 1st, hopefully millions of dollars richer. Right here, 97.5 The Fanatic. By the way, step up to the tee and take a swing at betting the PGA Tour on FanDuel Sportsbook. In partnership with Valley Forge, new customers can bet the Tour with a no-sweat first bet and get $1,000 back in free bets if you don't win. The PGA, well, they're losing more and more players. They lost another one this morning. Bubba Watson is going to another league, right? PGA still has some top golfers, though, like Rory McIlroy. He's the guy I will always read during this read, because you don't have to bet him to win, because I think he always comes up small, but he's always near the top. You can bet him to finish in the top 10. You can bet him to make the cut. You can bet how many fairways he hits. That's what FanDuel does for you. There's so many different promotions, daily promotions, and I love when I win because I get paid faster than a blistering drive off the tee. So see for yourself why FanDuel's America's #1 sportsbook. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and sign up using promo code Fanatic to get started with your no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. That's promo code Fanatic, FanDuel Sportsbook, official betting operator of the PGA Tour. Must be 21 plus and present in PA. First online real money wager only. Refund issues as knowledgeable site credit that expires in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Huge series win. I'm Tom Alvord, and this update is brought to you by Wawa Hoagie Fest. Wawa Hoagie Fest is back. Whatever your order, summer tastes better when it's full of hoagie love. Get $5 shorties and $6 classic hoagies. Yes, the Philadelphia Phillies won a crucial series over the Atlanta Braves thanks to a 7-2 victory yesterday afternoon. The offense was rolling as the team racked up 10 total hits, with 3 separate players in the lineup having multi-hit days. Kyle Gibson gave the Phillies just what they needed as he went 6 innings, allowing just 2 runs with 4 strikeouts. Philly now sits at 51-47 on the season and a half game out of the final wildcard spot in the NL. They begin a 4-game series in Pittsburgh with the Pirates tonight. Zach Wheeler faces off against Zach Thompson. First pitch is at 7:05. We are now officially on day 3 of training camp, coming off the first practice of the year yesterday. No practice today, however, as all the team has scheduled today is a walkthrough. Make sure to tune in to the afternoon show at 4 p.m. as Tim McManus gives his training camp update. This update is also brought to you by NJ Diet. Be slimmer for this summer and lose a contractually guaranteed 20 to 40-plus pounds in only 40 days. Call 855-5NJ-DIET or go to njdiet.com. Keep it locked to The Fanatic all day for breaking news and information. I'm Tom Alvord, and you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic.
It's the Cuz, Anthony Gargano. Weekdays 10 to 2 on 97.5 The Fanatic. Check out Tim McManus in the Birds Training Camp Report each day this week at 4 p.m. Training Camp Reports are brought to you by the new Bet Parks app. Everything you want in a digital casino and sportsbook in one sleek app. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The boardwalk, the sand, the surf, the sun. Heading down to the shore this weekend, having fun is a sure thing. Here's what's happening this week at the Jersey Shore, brought to you by Philly Pretzel Factory. Whether you're celebrating grads, dads, or just grilling in the backyard, at home or down the shore, don't forget the party tray, the official snack of summer. Nothing says summer like a warm night sky lit up with fireworks. So kick off the weekend every Friday on the Wildwoods Boardwalk with Friday night fireworks. Every spot is a good one to see the fireworks display starting at 10 p.m. The show will be launched from the beach on Pine Avenue and visible from anywhere on the Wildwoods Boardwalk. The perfect way to end your week-long stay or start your weekend off with a bang. So grab a bucket of rivets for the beach and a party tray for the barbecue this summer. Find your nearest store at phillypretzelfactory.com. The Boardwalk, the sand, the surf, and Philly Pretzel Factory. Fun is a sure thing.
It's Hoagie Fest. twice a day. Follow your taste buds, they'll show you the way. Hoagie Fest is here. Na, 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 na.
Wawa Hoagie Fest is back. Summer tastes better when it's full of hoagie love. Get $5 shorties and $6 classic hoagies. Limited time only. See store for exclusions.
There's an epic cookie battle happening right now at Wawa. Will it be Oreo cookies and cream frozen beverages? Or will you choose Chips Ahoy cream smoothies, milkshakes, and more? If you can't choose one, go for both in our limited time ultimate cookie mashup, made with real pieces of Oreo and Chips Ahoy cookies. 2 legendary cookies, 1 epic frozen treat. Gotta have a Wawa.
The summer heat means it's that time of year to crank up the AC again. To keep your home cooling more efficiently and save you on high energy bills, I suggest you go Guida and finally replace your old, drafty, inefficient windows and doors with my good friends at Guida Door and Window. Hi, it's Ricky Bowe, and right now, Guida is offering their best discounts of the year with their big 40% off summer sales event on all expertly installed windows and doors. You'll receive 40% off each window you buy. That's right, 40% off all high-performance, energy-efficient triple pane windows. And you'll receive 40% off any door, including insulated entry doors, patio doors, garage doors, and storm doors. Plus, get your project started today with no money down and the pay it off interest-free for up to 12 full months. All prior sales excluded. Minimum purchase required. Don't let these big discounts pass you by. Go Guida today to take advantage of these limited time savings by calling to schedule a free in-home estimate at 1-877-GO-GUIDA or visit them at GoGuida.com. That's go, GUIDA.com.
We buy any car. We buy any car. We buy any car. Any.
Did you know trading in your car at a dealer could cost you money? A recent study found consumers who trade in their car pay an average of $990 more. So don't trade in. Sell it to We Buy Any Car. Learn more and get your free online valuation now at WeBuyAnyCar.com.
Find out how much your car's worth at We Buy Any Car.
School is back, and Dick's Sporting Goods has everything you need to gear up so you can show up. With the widest selection from the hottest brands like Nike, Jordan, Hoka, The North Face, and more. The looks you want, the backpacks you need, all under one roof. When you're running short on time, 1 hour pickup is always an option. And with our best price guarantee, if you find a lower price, we'll match it. With looks this good, it's never been easier to sport your style. Every school year starts at Dick's.
When you bundle your renters and auto insurance with Progressive, you could save money, but it doesn't cover any terrible memories living rent-free in your head.
You remember that time you were singing in the shower, and then you heard a knock on the wall, and then you realized that your bathroom shared a wall with your neighbor's bedroom, and all you could do was stand there silently, thinking about all the other things they may have heard in the 4 years you've lived there? Yeah, good times.
Sorry, we can't save you from that memory, but we could save you money bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Coverage from Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Renters insurance and bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
My friend and I are taking a trip to Mexico this year, but neither of us speak Spanish. So we downloaded Babbel and started learning Spanish fast.
Want to get conversational in another language in as little as 3 weeks? Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons were designed by language experts to be the most efficient and effective way to learn a new language.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
At SS Industries in Collegeville, PA, you'll find amazing people doing great work. SS Industries is the premier manufacturer of straight and spiral stairs, as well as sliding artistic doors in the U.S., offering competitive pay and benefits, a secure future, and growth opportunities with on-the-job training. SS Industries is actively hiring for welders, woodworkers, and several other roles. On Wednesday, August 3rd, they are conducting on-the-spot interviews at their Collegeville location from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. For more info or directions, go to ss.industries. That's ss.industries and click on careers.
Listen to 97.5 The Fanatic everywhere. On Alexa at 975thefanatic.com, the Fanatic app, and now on Odyssey. More of the Anthony Gargano Show now.
On 97.5 The Fanatic.
11:30. 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm Andrew Salchunas, taking you until 2 o'clock, of course. It is the midday show. Anthony will be back on Monday. What's up, Devon? Devon Givens already here, getting ready for his show today at 2 o'clock. He's been doing a tremendous job, him and Tyler, filling in for, well, I guess I say they've been filling in for the best show ever, even though they haven't started yet. So are they technically filling in or just filling in for Tyrone because Tyrone has been on the show, and Jen?
I think they're technically filling in for the interim show. That's what I think.
Okay. Which is called the afternoon show.
Correct.
And I've heard Devon calling it the afternoon show.
Correct.
So
they're filling in for the afternoon.
So they're filling in for Tyrone and Jen, pretty much, not Ricky and Hunter, because they haven't started yet.
Correct.
So, all right. Just want to make that clear.
Yeah,
11 o'clock hour.
so.
Look, we have to come down. We have to get answers for everything on this show. 11 o'clock hour brought to you by Golden Nugget Jewelers, where Philly gets engaged. I have a question about Eagles content coming up in a little bit, but we're going to get to the phones first. But I want to read a couple stuff from our YouTube chat. I love our YouTube audience. Thank you all, as always, for listening and for really being a part of the show, even though sometimes you guys are debating yourselves about stuff that's not even on the show. And that's cool. Like, I love it. I love that there's a little YouTube community. But one guy checks in. Gabe Kaplan, this was in response to the Nick Sirianni T-shirt. He said, Gabe Kaplan took selfies in a banana hammock with his body slathered in coconut oil.
Love it. Love it.
But if he was a good manager here, I wouldn't have cared one bit. He's right. I don't care what Sirianni wears, what T-shirt he wears. If he's a good coach, and we'll find out. Like, this is year one, right? Like I hated Gabe Kaplan from the jump, right? I thought he overmanaged every single game. And look, they're now they came back down to earth, right? They're not winning 155 games this year. So Nick Sirianni, I saw things that I liked last year, and I think he's a good coach. But I don't know yet. Jury's still out, but I don't give a damn what T-shirt he's wearing. But people complain about it.
Yeah, I literally couldn't care less.
People care. They, for some reason, oh my God, he's getting too close to Hurts. It's gonna be hard for him to part ways with him. No, it's not. Hey, it's a business. Thanks. It's not that hard. I don't get it.
Plus, he's not really the one parting ways with Hurts.
No.
It would be Howie Roseman parting. It's, you know what I mean? It's not like he has to make the trade.
Yeah.
Nick Sirianni.
I mean, I really don't get it. I mean, there's just things that we care too much about. Something yesterday. There was a reporter that everybody knows in this city who was asking Rob Thompson, hey, what position do you want the Phillies to trade for? And Rob Thompson refused to answer the question because he said, if I were to give you a position, I'm basically, diming this guy out. Like if he says,
throwing him under the bus.
Oh, man, we need a better shortstop. I won't tell you why, but we need to improve shortstop badly. What do you think?
Bryson Stott when he goes back there, or Didi Gregorius.
Or Didi's going to walk into the locker room and go, hey, Rob, why'd you say that?
Yes. That's not cool, man.
Oh, my God. Center field. This carousel that we have. Thanks a lot, Dave. Can you make this better? Now you have three guys that are complaining.
And then imagine if they don't make a trade for those positions. And you're like, oh, all right.
Well, hey, Didi, I didn't mean it like that, Didi. I didn't mean it like that. And so, but then this reporter was upset that Rob didn't give an answer. And it's like, well, what do you expect, dude? Like, he's not going to tell you that. Oh, my God. Castellanos has been awful this year. Can we get a better right fielder, please? Like, he's not going to say that.
That always annoys me to an extent when reporters, and I get they're doing their job, when they ask coaches about, improvements on the roster. Free agency, trade, should you do this for this guy, that? And he's like, man, I can't throw these guys under the bus.
No.
It's not a good look for me. And I never understand that.
I guess you could say, hey, I wonder if it's different in other sports because baseball's 9 guys, right? It's not like you could say probably the best chalk answer is, listen, I love who we have now. If we could add an arm in the bullpen because there's multiple guys in the bullpen, right? But if you say shortstop, okay, Didi Gregorius knows that you're not happy with him, and it's plain and simple. So yes. I don't understand why you would get upset when he answers a question that way when that's literally the only answer you can really give. Another one on YouTube, Bob Saget, R.I.P. I want to hear from you, Bob. If you can follow, I know that's not your real name, but if you can follow up on our YouTube chat, I'm calling you out directly to respond. So we had the conversation about the lottery, and, you went down.
Real quick.
Pat Egan and Jamie Lynch were both still out there. And I said, did you guys do the $2 thing? Nah, I'm not doing that. And I go, all right, what's going to suck when you come back into work if we win? And they were both kind of like, yeah, you're right.
Immediately.
Because I asked them, I was like, what would you do? Honestly, like, be honest with me. What would you do if they win? If we win? It's like, are you going to come back to work? And they were both like, no, I don't think I could step foot back in here again. I was like, yeah. So they both went down quickly and gave Greg $2
You're helping
each.
people out.
Oh, yeah, because God forbid, that you actually aren't the one that puts in money and we win.
And there's going to be people that don't.
Yes. So Bob says that happened to his best friend. Now, it wasn't I don't know if it was a Mega Millions. He said they didn't win big, but each person got $20K. It's nice to have that $20K in
I
your
will take
pocket.
that anytime,
yeah,
sure.
Exactly, please.
But not like multi-million dollars.
Yeah. I want to know, how's your friend? Now, $20K is not totally life-changing, right? Like, you're still going to have to work. You're
sure.
All that kind of stuff. It's nice that you can buy a new car. You can fix stuff up around the house.
Yeah.
You look, trying to think, would that cover my student loans yet? I don't even know if that would cover it, if I'm being honest with you. But it would take a nice chunk out of it.
There you go.
I would do that right away. But how's your friend? Because that would, I would not come into work for at least a week. I would take a week off.
Right.
I would lose money.
Yeah. Now,
even though it was only $20K.
Would you call out or would you just not show up?
I'd text my boss. Like, if the boss was in the pool, I'd be like, yo, dude, I hope you understand. Like, I need some time.
I need some me time.
Like, I'll be back. Trust me, because I need to work. I didn't win $20K. I'll be back next week, though. And I would hope that my boss would respect that. So I want to hear from you, please, if you can. 610-632-0975 if you want to discuss that. This Eagles content thing. So you've mentioned Bob Wankel a few times. I love Bob. Does a great job for Crossing Broad. Does a lot of Philly stuff for Crossing Broad. He put out a tweet last night that I loved. I read it at my house yesterday. And I'm trying to find it. I think it was Bob. Maybe it wasn't Bob. Maybe I'm just giving Bob credit for nobody. Maybe it wasn't Bob. Hey, good for you, Bob. Somebody put out a tweet yesterday that I'm trying to find.
You didn't like it?
No, I did like it. No, maybe I didn't. Okay, maybe I've been lying this whole time. Somebody put out a tweet yesterday basically talking about how we are starved for Eagles content. Love it, right? All it takes is one of the beat reporters to, here's Jalen Hurts walking on the field, right? Like that video that we've seen a billion times of the player exiting the doors out of the NovaCare facility to the practice field. And that tweet gets thousands of likes, thousands of retweets, hundreds of thousands of views. People are probably sending it to their friends. Like, oh, look, he looks good. So I have a question because whoever tweeted it, I don't remember, apparently, was spot on, right? Because we are starved for it. So I want to know how much, and Tom, I'm asking you too, how much Eagles content do you consume, and how much do the Eagles take over your life? Listen, I know there's Birds fans 365 days a year, right? 24/7. But I mean, really now, start of training camp until whenever the season ends, hopefully in February, right? And then, of course, there's new league year starts where you're legally tampering, whatever that means. You're making trades. We've talked about this not too long ago, how the football NFL hot stove is basically surpassing the MLB hot stove, and it's very exciting. So football has become a 12-month-a-year sport because of all the stuff in the offseason, because we had this conversation, quarterbacks are changing constantly. They're not riding and dying with their team for their entire career anymore. But how much content do you take in? What is it? Are you reading articles? I try to do everything, right? I read for this story, read for the show. Obviously, I listen to the press conferences for the show. I watch all the highlights. I look at all the videos. But I'm sure there were people that were on Twitter all day yesterday, just refreshing for more and more. How much NFL and specifically Eagles content do you think you take in now through, let's say, January?
Infinity.
Yeah,
as much as they'll give me. It's funny, man, because I love baseball. Baseball is my favorite sport. It was my favorite sport growing up. The Phillies, it should be my number one, right? But I always go back. Always. I'm like, yeah, Phillies, baseball is my favorite sport. But the Eagles are always number one.
Of course.
Always number one. And I think that's just how it's the stranglehold that this team has on this city and just people, fans in general, whether you're from the city or not. It's crazy the juggernaut that the Philadelphia Eagles are and that the NFL is, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy.
So anytime they can give me content, especially when I'm starved for content, when we haven't had football in, 5 months, something like that, I will take as much as you will give me. Now, like I say, I always take it with a grain of salt. There's some things that I look into a little bit more than others, but if it's NFL content and if it's Eagles content, I'm always taking it in.
Yeah, I'm not going, let me watch all the videos of the players and walking onto the practice field. I don't really care about that because it does nothing for my daily life.
With you, though, when they put up the video of them all getting out of their cars, I got a little excited.
Oh, they're out of the cars. Yeah, I do.
Because I'm like, all right, it's time. They're back.
Back
to school.
I like that, and I miss, even though I never went to Lehigh, I miss those Comcast Sportsnet showing the guy walking in with a brand new TV and all. Yes, I always like that, the moving day thing. That always kind of got me giddy. But when they're walking out with the helmet and they're like, it's just like a nice thing. But that doesn't
people
fire
love
me
it, though.
up.
People love it.
Well, I know people do, and whoever put out that tweet yesterday was spot on. You put out that video and you got 1,000 likes, 1,000 retweets.
It's just the feel of football being close, football being back. It's the feel of having an entire Sunday to go tailgate, to go hang out, to watch the game, to hang with your friends, to go to the bar, to go to the stadium, whatever it may be. It's the feel of the NFL and Eagles football being back, and just that it's so close. People get excited about that.
It is really close. And Saeed checks in on YouTube. Football is number one because we get September to January to enjoy it. We are starved for football the rest of the year. Anything content-wise is a blessing prior to the start of the season. And boy, I don't know if it's a blessing. They pump it out, man. I mean, dude, you're not. It's not like you're starving every day. I know people look for it every single day, but it's there. You'll get it.
People not in this industry watch 4 quarters of third preseason game, whatever the last one is.
Just to watch football.
They'll be watching my dad, I don't even do that for all 4 quarters of the last preseason game of the year. People that have no business in sports or anything, no work in sports, people do that.
Well, now you've couple that with sports gambling. It's my God. I mean, you're watching 1 o'clock till midnight or whenever Sunday Night Football comes to an end. I mean, we already do that, right? And now there's extra to it. It's become a lifestyle. It's become a party. Let's go to the phone. 610-632-0975. Dave in Center City. Hello, Dave.
What's up, guys?
How are you?
It's funny you mentioned 20K. I have a little bit north of that on the Eagles if they go over the 8.5.
You're going to win that?
Yeah, well, actually, it's up to 9 now. I got locked in at 8.5. Before I get to the Phillies, Drew.
Yes, Mr. Money.
Yeah, I wish. I care about the Eagles. I care about what goes on in our backyard. I'm 100% committed to that. I do not care that Julio Jones is now with Tom Brady. Am I correct in that assumption?
I mean, I don't think Julio Jones is the same Julio Jones 10 years ago.
Yeah, but I'm not interested in any other ball club.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, and
I do. I love paying attention to all of it. I know that there are Eagle fans, and it's like NFL is only the Eagles.
Yes.
So you're like that, where you don't even pay attention to the other teams unless you're playing them.
No, and it's a shame because we got Pearl Harbored a little bit by Tampa Bay in the playoffs. 2 or 3 of their run stoppers that were hurt just magically appear, and we can't run the football.
Yes.
But I was not on top of that. Let's get that, Tommy. Let's get the baseball. I have renewed interest in the entire NL playoff picture.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It appears the Dodgers, Mets, and Braves are in the driver's seat. But listen, Padres, Cards, Brewers, Giants continue to spin their wheels, which bodes quite nicely for the Phillies. Maybe a number 2 wild card spot.
Yeah, Padres lost again yesterday.
Yeah,
like that's not out of the question. I've been saying that for a couple of weeks now. That one's still there.
Phils are 3 games out of the second wild card spot.
So I don't know why people were like, oh, same old team.
And like Tommy said, with the easy schedule, what do we got? 64 games left. Can you imagine if they go 40 and 20?
Yeah, I mean that's going to be tough, but they could. I mean, I got it right here, and thanks for the call, Dave. We got Pirates for 4, Braves for 2, Nationals for 4, Marlins for 3. Then you get the Mets. It's going to be very tough. They just swept the Yankees.
Marlins were going to sell everybody, apparently, if they're not named Sandy Alcantara.
Right. Yeah, so they're all going to be
They
gone.
don't have Jazz Chisholm for the rest of the season.
Phillies will lose that series. Reds for 3, Mets again for 4, Reds for 4, Pirates for 3, Diamondbacks for 3, the greatest manager of all time, Gabe Kapler, they're on a 7-game losing streak. Giants for 3, Marlins for 3, Nationals for 3, Marlins for 3.
Insane.
Like think of and then you close out the year 3 with Houston, which is going to be difficult. But the 7 games prior to that, even though you just got swept by them, the Cubs for 3 and the Nationals for 4.
I'm curious if, I think Rob Thompson and the streak that they went on brought people back on the Phillies train.
Yes.
I'm curious, and it took a little while.
It did.
I'm curious if that Cubs sweep knocked people off for, not the entire season maybe necessarily, but, okay, I'm not getting back on for another month now. Really, this is the same. It's going to take a long time for for the Phillies to win their trust back.
Yeah, they just took 2 of 3 against the Braves and nothing. It's crickets.
Doesn't matter. I think those they won them back. Rob Thompson won those fans back. That 3-game sweep to the Cubs lost them for the foreseeable future. TBD.
Yeah. I think you're spot on.
Same old Phillies,
and that sucks. I mean, we ran that poll. That's exactly what people were saying. I think it's crazy. So the Nationals, the Phillies play them 11 more times. So Dave just said 40 wins. What, 9-2 against the Nationals the rest of the way?
Especially without Soto, potentially.
That's a fourth.
And Josh Bell.
You're basically a fourth of the way there, man. And
9-2 is extreme. I'll go 7-4, 8-3.
No, dude. 7-4 against the Nationals is not good enough. I'll go 8-3 at worst.
8-3, I'll go.
Okay. You have 7 games against the Pirates. That's 5-2.
Should be, yes.
All right, so that's 13 wins. The Marlins, you have 9 against.
I'll go 5-4.
I'll go 6-3.
Still, you're excited over there.
So where am I at? I already forget the math.
13 was it last time?
Yeah, 19? So 19 wins. 7 against the Reds. You should win
6.
It's 23.
All right, sounds good. I didn't know we were talking about the Yankees or Dodgers here.
You sweep the Cubs back after they swept you. You go to their hometown, so that's another 3. They could get to 40 wins. They're not going to get.
You are very excited.
Listen, man, they shouldn't lose to these teams. Now, then again, we played those cuts earlier from Jason Stark and the Phillies' lack of aggression that is this upcoming trade deadline. I'm going to start the 12 o'clock hour with those cuts.
Got a couple more for you, by the way, too.
Oh, good. I'm glad. We got more Jason Stark cuts that are going to make me thrilled.
Thank you, Matt Menard.
If you missed them, thank you specifically, Matt Menard. If you missed them earlier today, I'm going to play those 3 cuts that Tom warned me about before I even played them on the air. And, I'll rip into the organization a little bit. And it scares me. And so I want to hear your thoughts on it as well at 610-632-0975. Also, starting next segment, your chance to win FanFest tickets. And it's based off of this Nick Sirianni thing. I will explain more on the other side, but it's about the times that we have over-complained about things in the past. And I'll explain more. I'll give you an example on the other side. But think about the time in Philadelphia sports where either you personally or somebody that you know of or a group of fans, like the people that complain about the Sirianni T-shirt, the times in the past, now that we look back at it, right, and we go, yeah, we complained way too much about that. Think about that time, and a good answer will score you FanFest tickets. By the way, John Kincaid has checked it. He says BS on the Dave from Center City bet. The Eagles were never at 8.5.
Getting called out.
Listen, John might be right.
Before
Mr. 20K on
before the draft, potentially, before they get AJ Brown, A.J. Brown, that trade happens, I could see him being an 8.5. So he probably made it a long time ago.
Maybe. You might be right. And Bob on our YouTube chat, who I was talking about earlier, his friend didn't put the money in for the lottery. They were fresh out of college, so they were living paycheck to paycheck. So that $20K would have been helpful.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure he had a couple loans, too.
And he said taking a week off wasn't an option.
No.
Oh, man. That sucks. That sucks.
I hope
All
he's doing well.
Yeah, I hope so, too. If you want to climb in, 610-632-0975. 12 o'clock hour coming up next. I'm Andrew Salchunas right here, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Alec Boehm stays red hot. I'm Tom Alvord, and this update is brought to you by Audible. Take Audible along this summer and listen to best-selling audiobooks, exclusive originals, and podcasts. Start with a free 30-day trial at audible.com. Yes, the Phillies offense came up huge yesterday, leading the way to a big series win over the Atlanta Braves. Alec Boehm had another big day as he went 2 for 4 with 2 runs and 2 RBIs in the Phils 7-2 win. He now has hit in 12 consecutive games, and the batting average is up to .293 on the season. Philadelphia now sits at 51-47 on the season, just a half game out of the final wildcard spot in the NL. They head to Pittsburgh now for a 4-game series with the Pirates, who come into the series 18 games under 500. First pitch for Game 1 is at 7:05. We are now officially on day 3 of training camp, coming off the first practice of the year yesterday. No practice today, however, as all the team has scheduled is a walkthrough. Make sure to tune in to the afternoon show at 4 o'clock today as Tim McManus gives his training camp update. And the Sixers officially announced that 10-time All-Star James Harden has officially re-signed with the team in a statement released yesterday. Keep it locked to The Fanatic all day for breaking news and information. I'm Tom Alvord, and you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic.
It's the Anthony Gargano Show on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Is sports betting about to become way more fun? You bet. Because the BetParx app has a brand new sports book. Live bets and parlays? You bet. Instant deposits and incredible app experience? You bet. Plus, your first bet is risk-free up to $750. So, are you already a winner just for signing up on the BetParx Sportsbook app? You bet. BetParx. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. Pennsylvania and New Jersey only. Is today your lucky day? You bet. Because the new BetParx app is everything you want in a digital casino and sportsbook. It's easy to sign up, fun to use, and faster to win than ever before. And all new BetParx app users can choose between a $20 casino bonus or a $20 free sports bet. Which begs the question, is this the most rewarding casino and sportsbook betting app ever? You bet. BetParx. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. Pennsylvania and New Jersey only.
In the Delaware Valley, helping each other isn't just the neighborly thing to do. It's in our blood. It's in our plasma, too. In fact, over the years, thousands of Philadelphia area residents have helped people they'll never even meet by donating plasma at local CSL plasma donation centers. Your plasma donations have been instrumental in our efforts to create new therapies for patients living with rare and serious diseases and have helped us provide medicines and vaccines to people in more than 100 countries around the world. We're proud to be part of this community, and we can't wait to say thank you in person at local events in the community throughout the summer. So please, when you see the CSL tent, stop by to cool off, hydrate, and grab a fun giveaway. Interested in other ways you can partner with CSL to improve patients' quality of life? Ask us about participating in one of our clinical trials or learn more at CSLBearingTrials.com. That's CSLBearingTrials.com. We thank you for all that you do, Philadelphia, because together we are saving lives.
Hi, it's Cuz. Is your summer weight loss plan not working out as well as you hope? Look, hope is not a strategy. This is what you got to do. Contact njdiet.com today. They will contractually guarantee you will lose 20 to 40 plus pounds in only 40 days. Just go to njdiet.com. Their program starts with bioenergetically personalized supplements that are based on your saliva, your hair, and your blood work. And then NJ Diet uses DNA testing to create your ideal diet plan and workout regimen to help you keep the weight off. You're not sure you can do it alone? NJ Diet's with you every step of the way. You're fully monitored by their certified staff to make sure you're burning fat, not just losing water. You'll also get the doctor's personal email and phone number. NJ Diet is committed to you keeping the weight off. It's all natural, no shots, no hormones, no surgery, no prepackaged foods. Locations close by: Newark, Delaware, King of Prussia, Cherry Hill. Worldwide live online video consultations. Call them. 855-5NJ-DIET or go to NJDiet.com. That's NJDiet.com and lose the weight for good.
20,000 bonus points, 18.99% variable APR, and a $32 statement credit when you spend $200 before your dog's 8th birthday.
Credit card ads have all sorts of numbers, but they mean nothing to you if you don't get approved. So here's Credit Karma's number, 50. Like members who shop on Credit Karma get approved over 50% more often than the national average. Now that's a number you can rely on. Credit Karma. Apply with more confidence. Member approval rates in 2021 over 50% higher than 2020 CFPB national average.
Did you know that shapes have sounds? This is the sound of a square because it's Wendy's fresh, never frozen beef served up on those hot and juicy hamburgers. And this is the sound of a circle. Not the Arctic Circle, but a circle of frozen beef that's flash frozen somewhere else. And this is the sound of a triangle. Anyway, when you want hot and juicy hamburgers, go for the square at Wendy's. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's hot and juicy hamburgers.
Fresh beef available in the contiguous U.S., Alaska, and Canada.
Say hello to Zoom One. Zoom One brings together Zoom meetings, chat, whiteboard, phone, and more, all in one place to streamline your team's communications so you can simplify the way you work, whether you're in the office, at home, or a mix of both. Get more of the Zoom you know and love with meetings, chat, whiteboard, and phone bundled together into Zoom One. Find out more at zoom.com/one. Zoom One features vary by plan.
The crawl space under your home is a breeding ground for moisture and mold. So if water invades your crawl space, it can cause damage to your home's foundation and overall structure. So if you're struggling with moisture and water in your home's crawl space, you need to call the experts. Dry Tech Waterproofing Solutions is the leader in waterproofing. They offer free consultations and foundation assessments. Mention John Kincaid, get 15% off. Fanatic listeners, 15% off just for mentioning my name. Visit drytechcorp.com. Dry Tech Waterproofing Solutions. Protect your investment.
It's a fact. Only 0.0001% of people will ever step up to the plate as a pro baseball player. For the rest of us, there's BetRivers.com Sportsbook app. Featuring same-game parlays, you can combine the excitement of different bets all from the same game. Totals? Bet 'em. Spreads? Bet 'em. Player props? It's a home run. Download the BetRivers.com Sportsbook app today. It's a whole new game.
Presented by Rivers Casino, Pittsburgh. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia. A Beasley Media Group station. Home of the most entertaining sports talk in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia.
O'clock, 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm Andrew Salchunas, filling in for the Cuz. In a couple of minutes, we're going to play some audio from Jason Stark. Tom texted me this morning. I have audio for you that you're not going to like. And you were right. I did not like it. And you also told me that there's more. So more audio that I'm guessing I'm not going to like. I'm guessing this isn't going to make me feel any better. Is that correct, Tom?
This one, maybe a little bit better.
Oh.
Maybe a little bit.
Okay. Well, all right.
Maybe.
Hopefully. Crying out loud. But I want to do something for the rest of the show for your chance to win some FanFest tickets, of course, presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. Saturday, October 1st from 1 to 5 at Xfinity Live. Got to be 21 to enter. Of course, stay tuned to The Fanatic for all updates on special guest events and a lot more fun for that day. I also heard a commercial this morning about FanFest that it's also going to be presented by my great friends at CSL Plasma. So love Renee for doing that. It's really cool. CSL Plasma, they were the people that they sponsored Knockout, so we had Knockout because of them. So I'm excited that they'll be a part of FanFest, so make sure you check them out. But one of the things I want to do for your chance to win FanFest tickets is to go back in time. Just take a minute, sit down, close your eyes, and make yourself remember a time where you probably bitched a little too much. Or, the fan base collectively complained a little bit too much. I'll say it nicer this time. Complained. Because there's way too many people complaining about Nick Sirianni and the T-shirts. And I know it's less this year, but dude, last year it was a mess. It was the Brandon Graham T-shirt. It was complaining about the Beat Dallas T-shirt. Oh, he's giving Dallas bulletin board material. Stop. Dallas was just better than the Eagles last year, which is why they won both games. Like, it's just that simple. It had nothing to do with the T-shirt that Nick Sirianni was wearing. So I want to think of a time where when you look back at it now, you go, all right, we complained, or I complained, or collectively as a fan base complained way too much about it. And the example that I'm going to give you, and it's so funny, West Virginia Rick texted me his answer, and it's my example. It's the one that I texted you this morning, Tom. My example is, now looking back at it, even though I never did, but looking back at it, we as a fan base complained way too much about Ryan Howard and his strikeouts. Way too much. Ryan Howard is arguably the best power hitter in Phillies franchise history. Now, he doesn't have the most home runs. Obviously, Mike Schmidt has that. He had over 500 home runs. But that stretch of his career, his prime, before he got hurt, unfortunately, right? The dude was one of the best hitters in baseball, one of the best power hitters in baseball. Led the league in home runs twice, hit over 40 home runs in a season 4 times, led the league in ribbies 3 times, and yes, led the league in strikeouts. Can you guess how many times in his 13-year career?
6.
Twice. So he only led the league in strikeouts twice in his entire career. Can you guess how many times he struck out 200 times in his career?
6.
In a season?
6.
None.
Really?
Never struck out 200 times. Got to 199 twice. So close. But let's just use, I don't know, Joey Gallo as an example, who struck out 213 times last year, has 103 already, and is batting 161. Oh, by the way, his best batting average of his career was in 2019 when he hit 253. Other than that, he has never hit north of 210. Okay, in a season.
Was 2019 the shortened season too, or no?
No, he played 70 games, so there was the next year.
Gotcha.
Where he hit 181 and struck out 79 times in 57 games. Okay?
Not good.
That's Joey Gallo, all right? Ryan Howard, we complain about his strikeouts. Yeah, did he strike out quite a bit? Of course he did. He was a power hitter. That's what happens. Power hitters strike out a lot. He also hit, 313 one year in 2016 when he won MVP.
Those MVP numbers from 2016 are
ridiculous,
like cyborg-esque numbers.
And think about this. So he gets hurt, right? It's a shame. 2011 was his last legit season. He had a bad injury. It sucked. 2011, he hit 253 with 33 home runs and 116 ribbies.
It's pretty good.
If he doesn't get hurt, who knows what numbers he keeps on putting up. But we complain, or at least complained about the amount of times he struck out. Also, he never hits it the other way. Actually, he hit a lot of home runs to left field. He didn't want to bunt down the third baseline. Can't blame him. So think of a time where we probably over-complained a little bit in the time it was happening. And I'm hoping 10 years from now, Nick Sirianni is still the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, and we can go, oh my God, I can't believe we actually complained about his press conference and we complained about the T-shirts that he wore. And I'll get your example in a second. But Rich Safran checks in. Andy Reid not running the football. Now, was it egregious at times? It was. But I'll just say Andy Reid, period. Andy Reid is the best head coach in Eagles franchise history. He's a Hall of Fame head coach. Has only coach in NFL history to go to 3 straight conference championship games in both conferences. That's never happened before. Andy Reid in general, we complained way too much about. And looking back at it, I hope you realize that was kind of crazy.
Yeah, I heard it all the time growing up. The clock management, the challenging, the timeouts, all that stuff.
Yes.
Andy Reid. And he's the greatest coach in Eagles history.
And Bryant asks, are we talking about complaining with a solid reason? I guess.
All these,
I get Ryan Howard did strike out a lot, but you look back at it, it actually wasn't as bad as what I think. People probably think, when I asked that question, how many times did he strike out 200 times in his career? You said 6.
Yeah.
He never did.
Yeah.
Ever. And it's not like he's I like Kyle Schwarber hitting 31 home runs. He's batting what, 205, like something like that.
Yeah.
Ryan Howard, his worst batting average pre-injury in a season was that 253 average that 251 in 2008, the year they won the World Series, where he also had 48 home runs and 146 RBIs. Like, think about that for a second. Kyle Schwarber got his 60th.
Ridiculous.
Kyle Schwarber is 31 home runs. He got his 60th RBI yesterday. And I like Kyle Schwarber. He's a power hitter, right? Like, I appreciate having him on this team. But think about how much we bitched and moaned about Ryan Howard because he struck out too many times. He did have 199 strikeouts that year, but he hit 48 home runs, 146 ribbies. That's ridiculous.
Absurd.
Crazy. And yet we complained about him.
Yes, we did.
He also played 162 games that year. He played every game in the regular season and in the playoffs.
All at first base. No DH, obviously, in that time.
No, and yet, we complained a lot. So think about a time where we probably, now that you look back at it, you go, yeah, we complained too much. Do you have an example, Tom?
Yes, I do. I have a couple, actually. The most recent one, I guess, was Bryce Harper only hitting solo home runs last year. I feel like I took a ton of calls about this dude only hits solo homers. He can't hit him with anyone on base. And then he goes and wins MVP.
See, it wasn't his fault.
No.
Like, it wasn't his fault. I remember Jamie pulled up some stat, and it was like the opportunities, or like guys on, like in runners in scoring position.
Yeah.
And he was like 250th in the league with like opportunities.
Yes.
Yeah, we complained about that a lot.
Bad.
Too.
He was bad earlier in the season, the first month of the season last year when it came to runners in scoring position. After that, he averaged out and became Bryce Harper. Another one also is Zach Ertz. I feel like when it came with he always goes down right after he catches the ball. Like, you know what I mean? There's
no yak Zach.
There's no yak Zach, yes. Which may be accurate relatively, but like, come on, dude.
There were some egregious ones.
Seasons.
There were some egregious ones where he literally fell down. You were like, dude, there's nobody near you.
Correct.
What are you doing? And I get it, you're trying to conserve your body, but like, dude, you could have gained another 12 yards.
Correct.
And you got 4 on the play.
They were frustrating, but I feel like every time he caught the ball, I would hear that or see.
Yeah, no, you're right. And look, to the Bryant brothers tweet, that's probably one that's a reasonable complaint. Like, yo, dude, you turn up field, you got another 10 yards.
Yes.
Like, what are you doing? A couple on Twitter. Not Twitter, sorry, YouTube. Jeff McPeak. Ruben Amaro Jr. getting roasted for trading away a bunch of prospects who never amounted to anything. And he's right. I mean, there were tears over Kyle Drabeck. Right? Tears. There are tears over Lou Marson, who got traded to the Guardians now, Indians at the time, for Cliff Lee. Carlos Carrasco wasn't even the biggest name in that trade. He's the only one that panned out to be anything.
The only one, yes.
Like, think about that. And people, I still remember, oh, man, my friend Ben. Ben and I went to a lot of Phillies games when we were younger together. And I remember him text me, Joe Blanton, they traded Josh Outman. Like, okay. And Josh Outman played like 5 seconds in the major leagues. Like, that's why my entire life proven verse on that.
Feels similar to what's going on right now.
Yeah. But he's right. I mean, that's a lot of people complaining about the trades that were made. So if you have any other great answers, love to see them on Twitter and on YouTube. And, of course, on the phones, we'll give away FanFest tickets for some good answers at 610-632-0975. But before I get to the phones, Austin and Brian, I see you guys. I promise I'll get to you at the end of but before the segment ends. The Jason Stark audio. So if you could, I know you said you had some new cuts for me as well.
Just one new
Just
cut.
one. Okay. Yeah. Can we start with what we did earlier? Cut number 1 was about the relievers. And this was the one out of the 3 that I was totally okay with. But here's Jason Stark talking about the Phillies and their interest in the relief market.
Bullpen. Again, if they were going to draw it up, it would be a true closer at an affordable cost. You get so many relievers out there. It's conceivable somebody falls through the cracks and they get that guy they need. I mean, there are dozens of relievers on the market. There will be affordable options. I think Dave will wait on that because the last day you're going to see some panic, I think.
Okay, so he thinks there's going to be some panic and a lot of guys are going to be making moves and maybe sometimes some teams will probably pay a little too much. The name I mentioned earlier is a name that I heard a long time ago that the Phillies could be interested in is Gregory Soto. He's basically a better Jose Alvarado. Not as wild, but still, it's dicey. 2.43 ERA this year for the closer, the Tigers, so you'll take that. His whip is a 117, so he walks some batters, and you're gonna have to deal with that. But 36 strikeouts to 15 walks right now as the closer of the Tigers, and he's a guy that you could bring in. Maybe he's not your everyday closer, but a guy that's gonna benefit you in the long run. Okay, so that's cut number one. Cut number two, the starting pitcher market. Please let me hear it.
Rotation, especially in the wake of Zach Eflin. They're looking for a number 3, number 4 type starter, someone who can start a playoff game, someone ideally who could start game 3 of a best of 3. So, it won't be Luis Castillo because he's the top of this market, but then after him, Tyler Mahle, Noah Syndergaard, Chad Kuhl, someone like that. Be really surprised if they don't come away with someone who fits that description.
So, a number 3 in the rotation. 2, I respond with, well, Noah Syndergaard not even on the 3 on this team. He's not. I'd still go Gibson over him. And if Suarez figures, he's starting to look better, I didn't think he'd be as good as he was last year, but he struggled out of the gate. And I think a lot of it, remember, he had the visa issues, so he was late to spring training this year, so maybe that had something to do with it.
Also,
he then got hurt.
Last year, you changed him from a bullpen relief guy into a starter mid-season.
Right.
That's probably going to take a little bit of toll on your shoulder.
Yeah, it probably would. No, you're right. You're right. And so he's pitching a lot better his last couple of outings. So Syndergaard, even the 3 on this team, I don't know. Mahle, I'm interested in, and that would be a nice move, I think, for the Phillies to acquire at the deadline. But, you heard him right away. He said, Castillo's going to be top of the market. They're not going to try to get him. Okay. They don't want to be aggressive with the starting pitcher because they already have Zach Wheeler and Aaron Nola. You just need a number 3 or a number 4 in the rotation. That's fine by me. This is the one that pisses me off the most. The center field. And just listen closely to the names he mentions, okay? And there's a name he mentions that I've been wanting that they're not going to get. He even says his name, Brian Reynolds, I'll tell you right now. But here are the names as the potential center fielders that the Phillies might be in on.
Third aisle is one that we haven't talked about much, but that's center field. What I'm hearing is this would be a glove-type center fielder as opposed to a thumper. And this could be one of a number of players. Michael A. Taylor, Victor Robles, Jose Siri, Christian Pache, Jake Marisnik. I'm throwing out names. It won't be Brian Reynolds, but somebody who can catch the ball in center field.
So, not even somebody that hits the ball hard or is a good offensive player. That Jose Siri, by the way, is on the Houston Astros. Hitting a whopping 178 this year with 3 home runs. So I hear that cut from Jason Stark, and I go, wait a minute. Jose Siri hitting below 200. Christian Pache hitting below 200. Victor Robles and Michael A. Taylor, both a little over 200. No pop whatsoever. 3 of those are right-handed bats. Jose Siri is also a right-handed bat. One of them's left-handed. So, you're not actually getting better. If anything, you're getting worse. He wants to shore up the outfielder itself, the glove in the outfield. Okay, well, you once again have an automatic out. Jose Siri's batting 178 this year.
Listen, I can't stand Odubel, and I don't think he should be on the team. But, how much more of an upgrade?
Well, right.
Offensively, it's not an upgrade at all.
No.
Any of those guys. Defensively, that's a different story. But like you said, if you're going up there and it's an automatic out every time, batting under 200 with no pop, what is the purpose there?
Yeah, it makes no sense whatsoever.
And none of those guys, most of those guys, not platoon guys, because they all bat righty.
Right. So you might as well keep on playing Vierling. And so, what is this lack of aggression? Now, you got in my ear. You told me the final cut is about prospect.
Yes.
It's, and how he said, hell no to Abel and Painter and O'Hoppe. I don't know. Can you play it? I want to hear, are the Phillies, holding on to these prospects for dear life? What is the deal? Can you please play this one?
The issue is clear. If they don't want to give up their best guys, this is challenging. Painter and Abel, they're not just no, they're hell no. Griff McGarry, Logan O'Hoppe, Ben Brown, they've said no on all of them from what I'm hearing. So I don't know how easy it'll be to get with what they want with their next tier of prospects, because teams aren't fans of that tier. But Dave Dombrowski knows how to make a deal, and I expect him to make multiple deals.
Okay, multiple deals. Now, Jay checks in on Twitter. Any chance they move Castellanos or Didi? Castellanos ain't going anywhere. They're not going to give up. I know everybody hates him. They're not going to give up on him this soon.
No.
And who's going to take on that contract for a guy that's playing like doggy doo-doo, right? Like nobody's going to take that on right now. Didi's a possibility, especially because we had Jim Salisbury on before everything happened, and he said that he believes Stott would be moved to shortstop when Segura comes back.
As he should be.
So Didi's on the bench. So maybe they move Didi. A buddy of mine, I still remember Lenny, he checked in with me before the season started. Before the Phillies season even started, it was spring training. Tatis goes down. He says, why wouldn't you try to trade Didi there now? Because Stott was playing well in spring training. Yep. Trade Didi there now. Get something out of it. Get a reliever. Get something, because you have no need for Didi Gregorius. Because we all thought Stott was going to be better. And, look, he's hitting better, to your credit. So you trade Didi to a team that's desperate for a shortstop. I thought that was a great idea.
Yeah.
But remember, Joe Girardi was still manager at the time, and Didi's his guy, right?
Yes, he is.
So maybe Jay's right.
Yes,
maybe they move a guy like Didi Gregorius, not Castellanos, but a guy like Didi Gregorius, and maybe that could be one of those. You're not trading a prospect away, but you're trading away a guy that can play for a professional baseball team. I don't know, dude. But that really concerns me, where they're giving you names like Christian Pache, who's hitting under 200 as a potential. I don't even know, like platoon, or like, is he starting? Like, what? God, these names. Thanks, Tom.
Sorry, dude.
Thanks, Tom. I have a lot of great answers on Twitter about the times we over-complained as a fan base in the past. But I want to go to the phones first and get some of them. Your chance to win FanFest tickets. Rob Motti has checked in with a great one, and I'll read Rob's coming up. He can come to FanFest. He's not going to win FanFest. He just has to come back up from Florida. But let's go to Austin in media. Austin, you're on the Fanatic.
Hey, guys. Great discussion today. Andrew, Tom, you guys work really well together.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Like hearing you guys. So the discussion about what do you guys think about the Eagles roster? Probably top 4 in the NFC right now, 1 through 22. I mean, great offensive line. Secondary's pretty short up with Bradbury and Slay. D-line's looking solid. Like right now in the NFC, probably top 4 roster on paper.
Are we going roster or like the Packers? I don't love their roster, but they have Aaron Rodgers, so they could still win 13 games, like just with him.
Sure. That's an excellent point. And that brings me to my point. Like, you look at Kyler Murray and all the money that he's getting in Arizona right now with that, ludicrous contract where he really hasn't won anything, where the Eagles have been able to, build with Hurts, being a second-round pick. And that's my point, like, about, I think we complained a little bit too much when Howie said, "Oh, this is a quarterback factory," and that. When Wentz really, he was, he's not really going to win anything here anymore. Like,
you didn't know that, though. Like, nobody really thought Wentz was good. I mean, look, dude, that final year with Wentz, he A, played terribly, and B, there was just so many bad stories that came out of NovaCare, but nobody thought that. Like, when they drafted Jalen Hurts, I was angry.
Right, and so was Anthony. But my point is, would you rather be where you are now with the Eagles roster and, going into the season with expectations to, make a run in the playoffs? Or would you rather have, the Cobra and, a garbage roster and, him
Well, yeah, I'd rather not have a garbage roster and a quarterback that nobody likes. Like, I'd rather not have that. You're right. But I still don't know if Hurts is the guy moving forward. You're going to have to replace him maybe at some point.
Well, I'm thinking about drafting Hurts for my fantasy team because I think
it's a smart move.
Numbers, running the ball.
Yeah, it's a smart move for fantasy football, but it's fantasy.
Right, but him and Sirianni, we talk about Sirianni being he's really got to show us something in year 2, that he can win close games. I don't think that San Francisco game, I think that was winnable last year.
It was.
And we can pick and choose.
Jalen Reagor also stepped out of bounds before catching the potential touchdown pass.
exactly, Andrew. But we gotta look at things like, Hurts is our guy going forward. Like, he's on the T-shirt, and I'm excited for this year.
Yeah, he's their guy moving forward for this year. And also, I'll put you on hold for the FanFest ticket. He's the guy moving forward this year. That has nothing to do with next year. If they fall short of expectations, you heard Austin's voice, right? Austin's like, this roster's really good. They fall short of expectations. It's probably going to be because of the quarterback or because Sirianni doesn't know what he's doing. But I don't think that's the case. I think, if anything, it's the quarterback holds you back. All right, I promised I'd get to him. So let's go to Brian in Ballackinwood. Brian, you're on the Fanatic.
Hey, how are you doing today?
Great, Brian. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. So as far as complaints, I got a couple football ones. So we have Jalen Hurts' arm, Howie's bad drafting.
No. Those complaints were fair for Howie.
Yeah, it is. I agree. So
he's had two good drafts back to back, but he was a horrible drafter in the years prior to that.
Yeah, that's why I asked if it's because of, did we have a solid reason to complain? I'm actually the person that tweeted that one. If I switch to baseball, the Phillies farm systems, especially the lack of being able to find good pitchers or just players who foreign players, as to say. And
yeah, but these are all fair complaints.
Yeah, so them just listen.
The Phillies haven't developed an outfielder since Pat Burrell, and before that, it was Greg Lazinski.
Yeah, so those are kind of my complaints. I'm not sure about the Don from McNabb ones. I know sometimes he used to throw ducks, and I'm not sure why, but that's his.
So Don and McNabb, and thanks for the call, Brian. I'll put you on hold for your FanFest tickets. That's the answer that'll score you the tickets. The McNabb complaints, looking back at it. Now, look, at the time, I get it. But looking back at it, he's still the greatest quarterback in Eagles franchise history. So we 100% over-complain about Don McNabb. You can give an answer about any player and coach during that time, right? Because Andy Reid, too. All right, so I have a lot of great answers on Twitter. I don't know if Brian necessarily understood the assignment because he was saying times that basically giving answers of what we complain about the most because all of them are fair. Howie was not a good drafter until last year, and the Phillies still don't have a farm system. They don't. They have a couple of guys.
No,
but I can't. The McNabb one is the one that scored you the tickets. But if you want to try to win a pair of FanFest tickets, just give me a time where we definitely over-complain about something, and looking back at it now, it wasn't really worth it. Like Ryan Howard and the amount of strikeouts that he had. Honestly, we've definitely over-complained as a collective fan base on that. 610-632-0975. Andrew Saltunas filling in for the Cuz right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Time to step up to the tee and take a swing at betting the PGA Tour on FanDuel Sportsbook in partnership with Valley Forge. New customers can bet the Tour the no-sweat first bet and get up to $1,000 back in free bets. If you don't win, the name I always give you is Rory McIlroy. But another name that you can trust is a guy like Jordan Spieth, even though Spieth might not win every single time. We've seen his collapses at Augusta. You don't have to worry about Augusta. That's already in the past. But there's a lot of golfers out there that even though some of the tops are leaving the tour, there are still a lot of good golfers that are going to be finishing near the top 10 of every single tournament, especially now that the best golfers are leaving. FanDuel has great daily promotions, and I love when I win because I get paid faster than a blistering drive right off the tee. So see for yourself why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook, and download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and sign up using promo code Fanatic to get started with your no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. That's promo code Fanatic. FanDuel Sportsbook, official betting operator of the PGA Tour. Must be 21 plus and present in PA. First online real money wager only. Refund issues, knowledgeable site credit that expires in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Huge series win. I'm Tom Alvord. This update is brought to you by Bally's Atlantic City. The all-new Bally's Atlantic City introduces The Yard, a brand new indoor-outdoor beer garden just steps from the boardwalk. Visit Bally'sAC.com. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Yes, Philadelphia Phillies won a crucial series over the Atlanta Braves thanks to a 7-2 victory yesterday afternoon. The offense was rolling as the team racked up 10 total hits with 3 separate players in the lineup having multi-hit days. Philly now sits at 51-47 on the season and a half game out of the final wild card spot. They face off against the Pirates tonight. Zach Wheeler against Zach Thompson. First pitch is at 7:05. We're now officially on day 3 of training camp, coming off the first practice of the year yesterday. No practice today, however, as all the team has scheduled is a walkthrough. Make sure to tune in at 4 o'clock to the afternoon show as Tim McManus gives his training camp update. Keep it locked to Fanatic all day for breaking news and information. I'm Tom Alborn. You're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic.
Anthony Gargano, weekdays 10 to 2 on 97.5 The Fanatic.
The summer heat means it's that time of year to crank up the AC again. To keep your home cooling more efficiently and save you on high energy bills, I suggest you go Gaida and finally replace your old, drafty, inefficient windows and doors with my good friends at Gaida Door and Window. Hi, it's Ricky Bowe, and right now, Gaida is offering their best discounts of the year with their big 40% off summer sales event on all expertly installed windows and doors. You'll receive 40% off each window you buy. That's right, 40% off all high-performance, energy-efficient triple-pane windows. And you'll receive 40% off any door, including insulated entry doors, patio doors, garage doors, and storm doors. Plus, get your project started today with no money down and the pay-it-off interest-free for up to 12 full months. All prior sales excluded. Minimum purchase required. Don't let these big discounts pass you by. Go Gaida today to take advantage of these limited-time savings by calling to schedule a free in-home estimate at 1-877-GO-GAIDA or visit them at GoGaida.com. That's GoGuida.com.
You know, as a 2-time cancer survivor, I know when it comes to funding cancer research, every single dollar counts. And I'm so proud that the American Association for Cancer Research is once again the official charity of the John Kincaid Show, because it's a cause that hits close to home for me and my family, and probably for you too. You've got friends, you've got family who've been touched by cancer directly. We all can work together with the AACR to help accelerate scientific discoveries that are going to benefit patients and families everywhere. So why don't you make a donation to the AACR, the American Association for Cancer Research, today? You realize they're based right here in Philadelphia, and there's over 50,000 researchers that are looking for your funding. And there's more than 17 million Americans that are survivors of cancer today, like myself, that benefit from it. So join us today. Support those scientists and doctors. Give hope to cancer patients and their families. Donate online right now. Go to aacr.org/fanatic. That's aacr.org/fanatic, because cancer research saves lives.
The boardwalk, the sand, the surf, the sun. Heading down to the shore this weekend, having fun is a sure thing. Here's what's happening this week at the Jersey Shore, brought to you by Philly Pretzel Factory. Whether you're celebrating grads, dads, or just grilling in the backyard, at home or down the shore, don't forget the party tray, the official snack of summer. Nothing says summer like a warm night sky lit up with fireworks. So kick off the weekend every Friday on the Wildwoods Boardwalk with Friday night fireworks. Every spot is a good one to see the fireworks display starting at 10 p.m. The show will be launched from the beach on Pine Avenue and visible from anywhere on the Wildwoods Boardwalk. The perfect way to end your week-long stay or start your weekend off with a bang. So grab a bucket of rivets for the beach and a party tray for the barbecue this summer. Find your nearest store at PhillyPretzelFactory.com. The boardwalk, the sand, the surf, and Philly Pretzel Factory. Fun is a sure thing.
Come to Barlow Chevrolet in Delran this summer, where savings are heating up. We're offering discounts below MSRP on select vehicles in stock. We have several Equinox, Silverado, and even Tahoe inbound. Reserve yours today. If there's a specific vehicle you want, order it from Barlow with no additional dealer fees or markups. At Barlow, we keep the buying process simple, convenient, and hassle-free. Start your summer off right at Barlow. Find new roads in Delran or at barlowchevrolet.com.
For over 35 years, Health Partners Plans has been proudly caring for people in the community. Our nationally recognized Medicaid plan offers a growing network of doctors and hospitals so you can get care close to home. Health Partners can help you get the care you need, including doctor and hospital visits, prescriptions, immunizations, eye and dental care, and more. To learn more, please call 1-800-553-0784 or visit hpplans.com. Health Partners, trusted care where and when you need it.
This week at Macy's, get an extra 20% off with your coupon or Macy's card. That's on top of great deals, like 10 to 65% off home essentials during our big home sale. Or shop specials, like the Radley 5-piece sectional sofa, $2,199. And 500 thread count sheets and more, 75% off. Plus, Macy's Star Rewards members earn on every purchase except gift cards, services, and fees. Sign up today at Macys.com/Star Rewards. Savings off sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
Millions of people use Zoom Phone, the innovative and feature-rich cloud phone system for businesses of any size. Zoom Phone is simple to use, whether you're on a mobile device, desktop, laptop, or desk phone. And because every call is important to your business, Zoom Phone was built with reliability in mind, using geographic redundancy to keep your communications online. Empower your workforce with Zoom Phone. Visit zoom.com/phone system. Zoom, how the world connects.
You know, it's way too nice outside to eat dinner at home. Instead, take the family out to PJ Wellahans tonight. Whether you're into wings or burgers or craving a fresh salad, they've got something for everyone. We love our local PJs.
Get Xfinity Internet at home free through the Affordable Connectivity Program. Qualifying customers can get Internet Essentials Plus, a $29.95 a month value free. Go to Xfinity.com/free. Call 1-800-XFINITY or visit an Xfinity store today. Restrictions apply.
Want to hear the Fanatic Best of Show Daily podcast? Head to 97.5thefanatic.com now and download each show every day. Brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Use promo code FANATIC when using the DraftKings app.
$12:30, 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm Andrew Salchunas. 12 o'clock hour brought to you by Service First Heating and Air Conditioning. Get 0% financing for 72 months and a $500 rebate when you purchase a complete heating and cooling system from Service First. Learn more at ServiceFirstHVAC.com. Tom, I have a question for you. Can you eat like the same thing every day? Or like very frequently?
Yes. Yeah, I do it every day. Yeah.
So I was just thinking about it. I made at home chicken salad. I love the ShopRite chicken salad. I get it often. It's also great when I'm trying to do the no carb thing because there's no carbs in it, right? It's chicken and mayonnaise and then a couple of things thrown in there.
I hate chicken salad.
That's fine. But like I just realized, so I brought it to work today. Today's, Thursday?
Correct.
I had some when I was at home yesterday. And I made it for dinner Tuesday. So I've now had it 3 days in a row. And there's still a little bit left. Like I try to make enough, especially now that Christy's back at work. We're trying to plan things ahead, have lunches and all that kind of stuff. I'll probably eat it again tomorrow.
Yeah.
For a fourth straight day. I have no problem with that. Now, Christy, on the other hand, she gets in these phases, right? Like, she'll love something. She found this salad on, the internet, and she's now made it twice. And for this week, she made a giant, she tripled the recipe so that she could bring it to work every day.
Sure.
She'll probably eat it every day this week, probably make it one more time for, again, a full week, and then we'll never want it again. Because she's like, oh my God, I ate too much.
She gets sick of it.
I've never had that happen. I could eat eggs every day. You see me. I typically do bring eggs in every single day.
Yes.
I just didn't today. I needed to give myself a little break. I just went banana peanut butter for breakfast today. But could you do the same thing every day?
Yeah. Every single day for breakfast. I go through phases of stuff I eat. For 3 months at a time, I was having the same cereal every single morning. Now I do granola bars and stuff like that. I've been trying to do meal prep to an extent, so I'm not driving home, passing Wawa, Chick-fil-A, Wendy's, McDonald's, and I'll just get that instead, have stuff ready at the house. So yeah, I try to. Now listen, you get to sick of stuff after a while. Maybe you take a week off or something like that, but then I can hop right back into it. So yeah, I am one of those people.
Okay, yeah. So you and I are when it comes to, I just I know that there are people that are oh no, if I eat it once, I can't.
Now, not all food though. If you do I don't know, a salmon dish, make a ton of salmon.
Having
for the
salmon
week.
Tonight.
There you go. For the entire week, could you have it the entire week? Is it all foods or is it some foods? To me, it's some foods. I can't have all food every day of the week.
I could probably have all food every day of the week.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all.
I could eat a hamburger 7 days in a row.
Well, talking about food that's not good for you. Now, I could have a cheesesteak every single day for lunch if I wanted to.
And see, I probably couldn't because I'd probably end up hating my life.
Oh, yeah, there's always that. But, what are you going to do?
But, yeah, I could eat even healthy stuff. I could eat literally every day. I don't really care. I just need to be full. That's it. That's all I care about. I need to, it's like Nick Castellanos. He hits to survive. I eat whatever I want.
You don't eat for taste. You eat just so you are full so you don't die.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm still living. I don't know about Nick, though. So one of the things we have going on right now, if you want to win a pair of FanFest tickets, you just got to call 610-632-0975 and give an answer to this question. Because I'm thinking about the Nick Sirianni T-shirt and the amount of complaints that are still going on, not as much this year, but last year, because people didn't like him from the get-go with the press conference, which is so stupid, the people found ways to hate Sirianni. And one of the big things was the T-shirts and, he's too close with his players. Oh, God forbid. He's not Chip Kelly, for crying out loud. God forbid he actually says hello to people in the hallway. But also the Beat Dallas shirt. He's giving other teams bulletin board material. Like, that's just stupid. But I want to ask you, looking back at things, what are some of the times we complained way too much about something? And for me, my example was Ryan Howard and his strikeouts. Because Ryan Howard never struck out 200 times in a season. Ryan Howard only led the league in strikeouts twice. And, oh, by the way, Ryan Howard is a power hitter and had over 40 home runs 4 times in his career, led the league in home runs twice. So just as many times he led the league in strikeouts, he led the league in home runs. He was a power hitter, one of the best Phillies power hitters in a stretch that we've ever seen, right? So Ryan Howard was my example. Rob Motti checks in. Of course, we remember Rob being here at the station. Gives a great answer. The amount of complaints that Jimmy Rollins got when swinging at the first pitch.
Dude, I was literally going to bring that one up. But I was like, you know what?
So Jimmy Rollins.
I heard it all the time.
When swinging at the first pitch and putting it in play, batted .285 with a .300 on-base percentage and a .450 slugging in his career. Somebody actually asked, what about Jeter? To which Rob responded with .333, .360, and .474. So Derek Jeter, pretty good career. Rob and I argued a lot over Gabe Kapler. He and I, we went at it multiple times about Gabe Kapler. He liked Gabe Kapler as a manager. I clearly, vehemently hated Gabe Kapler as a manager. I had to respond to Rob and say, oh, by the way, your boy Gabe Kapler, when he was a player, hit .325, .327, .453 on the first pitch. Even though as a manager, it's like, God forbid you swing at the first pitch, you're probably going to be sitting on the bench.
Which is still crazy to me.
Yeah.
When you told me that.
Yeah, because it's ridiculous, because that was his whole MO, was work counts. But some other great answers on Twitter. My man, the Fink, checks in, and he's right. There were a lot of people at the time. Now, look, it didn't really work out ultimately, but a lot of people at the time complained about the trade up for Wentz because you traded up from 13 to 2, gave up a lot, right? Ultimately, it wasn't that much. It was like Kiko Alonso, Byron Maxwell, right, and a bunch of picks.
Yeah.
For a guy that had an MVP season in 2017, but because it was the North Dakota State thing, why would you draft a guy that isn't even a D1 football player? That was what a lot of people complained about. Colin checks in with one that his dad, my dad not so much. My dad loves him. But his dad and a lot of dads, Mike Schmidt isn't clutch. Mike Schmidt and you said the Bryce Harper thing. He only hits home runs when there's nobody on base. Mike Schmidt, the narrative back in the day, he only hits home runs when there's nobody on base. He hit 595 home runs in his career. But, he only hits home runs.
It was only solo homers. Yeah, 595.
Well, you would think the way people talk about it, you would think. And you know how we get on Donovan McNabb for still bringing up the getting booed thing at the draft?
Yes.
I remember we had Schmitty on 2 opening days ago, and he still brings it up.
Yeah.
He still brings up people didn't necessarily always love me, even though he was, best third baseman in Phillies franchise history and arguably one of the best in league history.
And best player in Phillies franchise history,
too. Yeah, exactly. Dr. Stone Cold Stunner checks in.
Great name.
Doug Peterson and Charlie Manuel. We all wanted them fired after one season, and he said it worked out okay for both of them. Rob M. checks in with the Sirianni first press conference. But yeah, there's a lot of good ones. Ryan checks in. Are you kidding? Howard's strikeouts in the later years cost us countless games. What later years? When he was not the same player because he had a serious injury?
And when the team wasn't good enough?
Yeah. Like Ryan, what are we talking about? And J.M. Huddock checks in with a great one. Joel Embiid doesn't post up enough.
Huh. Yes.
Even though he leads the league in post-ups every single year.
And he did second in MVP last year.
Do I believe maybe he should sometimes be down low more? Yeah. occasionally, like mix it up. But he's never on the block. Well, he is. He leads the league every single year. Oh, somebody else just checked in. Grease Monkey just checked in. So 2 people back to back checked in with the Embiid one. Those are some great answers. So if you want to try to win FanFest tickets, give me an answer to that question. The time when we look back and you kind of realize, all right, we probably complained a little bit too much or complained a little bit too much about that. Just call in 610-632-0975. Some other stuff that we have, on the table today. And we got more coming up in the 1 o'clock hour. But let me just kind of reset the show today. We opened up with the Phillies and their extremely impressive series win against the Braves. Something that I doubted. I heard John Kincaid and Pat Egan both guarantee a series win. I thought they were both on crack. I didn't think that was going to happen. Look at who they were playing. Look at the rotation that they went up against. Fried, Strider, and Morton. I didn't think they were going to win that first game of the series, and they did. Strider pitched as good as we thought he would. And then you win game 3. So you won that series. You took 2 of 3 against a team that I didn't think you had any business in beating, especially with it looked like the momentum that they had that carried into the All-Star break. You lost Bryce Harper with injury. You look like you were starting to feel those effects. You get swept by the Cubs, which is ridiculous. They come back and win a series against the Braves. That's one of the most impressive and also important series victories that the Phillies have had all season. And yet it's still kind of quiet, which I can't believe. But at the same time, I don't blame anyone because the Yankees make a trade for Andrew Benintendi yesterday, which would have filled a position of need. 2, really. He could bat leadoff for you, too. Yeah, so he's your starting center fielder and your true leadoff hitter. So that's 2 birds, 1 stone, or 2 birds, 2 prospects. And they didn't do it. And the Yankees, who have the second best record in all of baseball, before last night had the best record in all of baseball, before the Dodgers surpassed them, they didn't hesitate. They didn't wait till the trade deadline. They made a move right away. And the Phillies didn't do that. And that pisses me off. And then we play the Jason Stark cuts. Jason Stark thinks the Phillies will be on a reliever. Good, that's awesome. He believes that they are going to be in on a starting pitcher to the point where he said he'd be shocked if they didn't get a starting pitcher. But he gave a bunch of names that are, 3rd or 4th in the rotation, one of them being Noah Syndergaard, who I don't even think cracks the rotation. He will because Zach Eflin's out. But really, you're going to give me Noah Syndergaard? He's not as bad as him? I'm going to say something crazy. This might be hot takey, and I apologize because I swear to never be hot takey. But Noah Syndergaard, trading for him this year is kind of like trading for Jason Vargas a few years ago. Like
that is,
but really
scorching.
But think about it. Jason Vargas, you acquire him. Was he really going to do anything for you? No. Noah Syndergaard, yeah, he's better than Jason Vargas. Don't get me wrong, but like he's a guy with an ERA of over 4.
He's down to 3.83 after his last start.
Good for him.
I think. Listen, would I love an improvement over Noah Syndergaard? Yes. Do I want them to get a guy better than Noah Syndergaard? Yes. But I think you're being
But the Vargas year was the McPhail. We do, we don't. They're in the luxury tax, and you're going to trade for Noah Syndergaard? He's going to be the answer to your prayers? I hope if they do trade him, I'm wrong. I am somebody that loves when I'm wrong.
I'm looking at his game log for this year. And I was trying to prove you wrong, but it's really not.
5s. A lot of 5 earned run nights. A lot of 3,
innings,
4.
3 runs, 5 innings, 2 runs.
Not many quality starts.
7 innings, 3 runs, 7 innings, 5 runs, 4.2, 1 run, 6 with 1 run. That's good. 2.1 with 5 runs. Yeah, there's not a lot of quality starts.
So when people get on me for liking Gibby, well, it's because he typically gives you a quality start when he goes out there. It's not great. 6 innings, 3 earned isn't great. It's a 4.50 ERA. It's not like that's good. But he's out there, gives you a quality start. Syndergaard doesn't necessarily give you that often. Now, Gibby's having an up and down year.
But that's what a number 5 pitcher is.
Yes.
Number 4 pitcher is, yeah.
So what? You're bringing in another number 4 or 5.
Hey, it's the name, though. It's the name and the hair. And that's what people get excited about there.
I guess. Andrew. I mean, that just...
And it's like, people will get excited about the name. Because when people think of Noah Syndergaard, they think of, this young, hot prospect, up-and-coming pitcher for the New York Mets that has all the talent in the world.
Yeah.
He's just got to put it together. The dude's, 29 years old now at this point?
Well, it's Velasquez.
We're past this point.
It's Velasquez.
He's better than Velasquez, but yes, to an
but
extent.
no, but that's what you're waiting for. He's never going to put it together.
You're waiting.
The waiting's done. Okay, there's no more putting it together. Who you see right now out of Noah Syndergaard, maybe the best you'll see, right? Because he's had a worse ERA every single year since leaving the Mets.
So he was really good the first 6, 7-ish starts of the season. His ERA was 3.08 after 7 starts.
Yeah, and then the Angels lost 85 games in a row.
And then he's come crashing down. And like you said, before his past start, he was over 4. So will Dombrowski look at that and say, hey, if you come to a team that isn't the Angels, the worst team in baseball after a certain point in the season, can you get back to some of that early season success with this Phillies team? Like I said, I would prefer an upgrade, a guy like Trevor Mallett, who I think has some potential for you. I would love a Frankie Montas or Luis Castillo.
But they're clearly,
love.
Jason Stark said they're not in on that.
You've been saying this team needs a 3, they already have an ace and then number 2. How about another ace? How about another number? You can never have enough of those guys. No team's like, shucks, we're not taking in Luis Castillo because we already have a number 1.
Say that to the Mets.
Make your team.
Say that to the Mets. They go out. They signed Scherzer this year.
Yeah.
They already had DeGrom.
Also, those guys are both under control for next year too, I believe.
And the Phillies don't think that way. So, honestly, I asked earlier today, do you just not like this team? Is that why there's no excitement after the Phillies take 2 of 3 against the Braves? But then again, I can't blame anybody when the Yankees are going out and getting guys, and the names you hear are Christian Pache, who's hitting below 200. Also, the Eagles, they were back at camp yesterday. I'm glad that everybody was fired up, but they're still making the point about the Sirianni T-shirts, which is why I asked you, give me a time where now that we look back at it, we realize we were a little ridiculous complaining about certain things in Philadelphia sports. I know Vinny in Westchester has an answer. Let's go to Vinny. What's up, man?
Hey, how are you, Shannon?
Great, Vinny. How are you?
Good. So I don't know if it was a lot of people complain about, but a good amount did that Ryan Howard wasn't clutch. He hit 3-run home runs when the Phillies were up 3-0, 3 runs already. I used to get in an argument with a family member all the time. Take aside the fact that he led baseball during his career in go-ahead RBIs.
Yep.
Those 3-run home runs to put them up 6 runs, put your closer back on the bench. And you didn't have to use your closer 3 nights in a row because of Ryan Howard's late inning home runs to put you up, expand your league.
Yeah,
which,
I have somebody in my family, Vinny, same thing, and he's now saying that about Bryce Harper too. And it's well, you just hate talent then. You just don't like talented players. It's that simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you don't have to say not many people because I know somebody that does it. So Vinny, I'll put you on hold. That scores you a pair of FanFest tickets. So it's that simple. The times we heard or you or somebody complained about something in Philadelphia sports in the past, and now that you kind of sit down and think about it, you're like, all right, that was a bit much.
People said the same about Bobby Abreu, too, didn't they? The guy who's only hit homers when they're up 5-0.
Yeah, and he didn't want to bat in certain areas of the lineup.
Is it just the best power hitter on an underachieving team? Now, I know Howard, their teams were really good, but towards the end, they weren't as. Is it your best power hitter, best pure hitter, even to an extent, on underachieving teams or teams that should be better? Is that simply what it is? And we just go to the Abreus, go to the Harpers, go to the Howards?
No, I just think sometimes we hate talent. I'll be honest. I've said it 1,000 times. I think sometimes we completely overrate the backups and the player that you think Connor Thomas thinks he can beat T.J. McConnell one-on-one in baseball.
Yes, correct.
But we love T.J. McConnell. Why? Because he's like us. He's the little man. He's underdog story. He's put together an incredible career. But people like T.J. McConnell more than Ben Simmons. Now, this is before Ben.
Sure.
But I remember having that argument.
People still want to trade Joel Embiid. I've taken calls of that recently, relatively.
Yeah, people don't
non-troll calls.
And God forbid anybody has any talent, and if they haven't won 8 championships in whatever league they're in, they stink. And I just sometimes I don't understand it. That's why the Foles-Wentz debate was as long as it was. Now Foles won a Super Bowl, but Wentz is an more overly talented quarterback than Nick Foles. But we had that debate until we were blue in the face, man. All right, final hour ahead. You can join in at 610-632-0975. So we got 1 hour left. I have a couple of questions, football-related questions. I also have something on the crock pot that I want to discuss, okay? Because I did the crock pot last night, and, of course, saved me a lot of time. And I don't think the crock pot gets enough love, if I'm being honest with you. So we'll discuss that all. 610-632-0975. I'm Andrew Salchunas, filling in for the Cuz right here on The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Boom stays red hot. I'm Tom Alvord, and this update is brought to you by Bally's Atlantic City. New or inactive Bally's Reward members sign up for a Bally Reward card, and they'll match your AC Casino offer and tier status. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Yes, the Phillies offense came up huge yesterday, leading the way to a big series win over the Atlanta Braves. Alec Boehm had another huge day as he went 2 for 4 with 2 runs and 2 RBIs in the Phil's 7-2 win. He now has hit in 12 consecutive games, and the batting average is up to .293 on the season. Philly now sits at 51-47 on the year, just a half game out of the final wild card spot in the NL. They head to Pittsburgh now for a 4-game series with the Pirates, who come into the series 18 games under 500. First pitch for Game 1 is tonight at 7:05. We are officially on day 3 of training camp, coming off of the first practice of the year yesterday. No practice today, however, as all the team has scheduled is a walkthrough. Make sure to tune into the afternoon show today at 4 o'clock as Tim McManus gives his training camp update. And the Sixers officially announced that the 10-time All-Star James Harden has officially re-signed with the team in a statement release yesterday. Keep it locked to The Fanatic all day for breaking news and information. I'm Tom Alvord, and you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic.
It's the Cuz, Anthony Gargano. Weekdays 10 to 2 on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hey, it's Cuz. The savings on fire during Colonial Marble and Granite's Beat the Heat Summer Sale. Save 20% off all granite, marble, and quartz countertops, kitchen, bathrooms, bars, and outdoor, because summer is the peak season for entertaining. Need a coordinating backsplash? Save up to 25% on that as well. The selection's unreal. King of Prussia Showroom Slab Yard is like a museum. Over 5,000 slabs in 500 different colors. You're looking for a statement piece? All exotic blowout inventory is up to 65% off. Go to one of their local showrooms over the weekend. Get a free Edge upgrade with purchase. That's a big move. Strong move. 0 money down. 0% financing available on purchases of $19.99 or more for up to 18 months. You know, listen, I can't wait to get started on my kitchen renovation, all by the experts at Colonial Marble and Granite. For details, go to one of their local showrooms or online at colonialmarble.net and tell them Cuz sent you.
Hey, kids, I'm going to Wawa. Anybody want anything? It's Hoagie Fest. Hoagie Fest is here. So, classic meatball and classic Italian with cherry pepper relish. And a new picture frame.
Wawa Hoagie Fest is back. Whatever your order, summer tastes better when it's full of hoagie love. Get $5 shorties and $6 classic hoagies. Limited time only. See store for exclusions.
There's an epic cookie battle happening right now at Wawa. Will it be Oreo cookies and cream frozen beverages? Or will you choose Chips Ahoy cream smoothies, milkshakes, and more? If you can't choose one, go for both in our limited time ultimate cookie mashup, made with real pieces of Oreo and Chips Ahoy cookies. 2 legendary cookies, 1 epic frozen treat. Gotta have a Wawa.
Is sports betting about to become way more fun? You bet. Because the BetParx app has a brand new sports book. Live bets and parlays? You bet. Instant deposits and incredible app experience? You bet. Plus, your first bet is risk-free up to $750. So, are you already a winner just for signing up on the BetParx Sportsbook app? You bet. BetParx. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. Pennsylvania and New Jersey only. Is today your lucky day? You bet. Because the new BetParx app is everything you want in a digital casino and sportsbook. It's easy to sign up, fun to use, and faster to win than ever before. And all new BetParx app users can choose between a $20 casino bonus or a $20 free sports bet. Which begs the question, is this the most rewarding casino and sportsbook betting app ever? You bet. BetParx. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. Pennsylvania and New Jersey only.
Virtua Health is here. Here for you in all the moments that matter. Because they all matter. Here to be your trusted healthcare partner. From the simple to the serious, we ensure you can feel your best and live your life to the fullest. Find a Virtua physician at Virtua.org. Virtua Health. Here for good.
If you run a small business, efficiency has never been more important. So for a limited time, Comcast Business is introducing small business savings. Call now to get powerful internet for just $39 a month for 12 months with no annual contract and a money-back guarantee. All on the largest, fastest, reliable network for small businesses. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/21/22. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. Restrictions apply. New business 50 megabits per second customers only. Equipment, taxes, and other charges extra and subject to change. After promo, regular rates apply.
Raising your grandchildren or loved ones' children is an honor that allows them to live, grow, and thrive among family. Providing a safe, loving home is rewarding and challenging, but you're not alone. Pennsylvania Ken Connector is here to help kinship families. Ken Connector is a free resource of skilled, compassionate professionals who will connect you to services, training, and support groups. Call 1-866-546-2111 or visit kenconnector.org today.
Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Thinking about gas mileage. An oil change with quality oil like Pennzoil Platinum Full Synthetic can help your engine get more out of every mile. Right now, you can get 5 quarts with an STP Extended Life Oil Filter for only $35.99. Get what you need for better fuel efficiency at any of our 6,200 stores or on AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Man, I slept.
New ZzzQuil Pure Z's Restorative Herbal Sleep is made for people who are tired of being tired.
I've never slept like this before. I've never woken up like this before.
A melatonin-free sleep aid made with a botanical blend that contains clinically studied and effective valerian root, hops, and passion flower, shown to help promote better restorative sleep. ZzzQuil Pure Z's Restorative Herbal Sleep. Sleep this good, feel this good. Available at retailers near you.
DQ presents Picture This. Picture yourself at DQ on Thursday, July 28th for Miracle Treat Day. You roll up to order a Blizzard with your friends and family like you have so many times before. But on this day, every flavor comes with a much-needed dose of hope. For every Blizzard you buy at participating locations, $1 or more will be donated to Children's Miracle Network hospitals for your local children's hospital, making Miracle Treat Day the most satisfying way to give hope to kids in your community. Thursday, July 28th at DQ.
At CSL Plasma, you can make up to $825 this month when you donate plasma at any of CSL Plasma's tri-state area donation centers. That's money you get on a reloadable prepaid card for doing a good deed. Plasma donations help create therapies to treat patients with rare and serious diseases, and donations are needed now more than ever. The donation process is a lot like donating blood, with a nice chunk of change in your pocket when you're done. As a thank you for your time, you don't need an appointment to donate. Walk-ins are welcome.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station, home of the most entertaining sports talk in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
One o'clock, 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm Andrew Salchunas, filling in for the Cuz. Anthony returns on Monday, so looking forward to seeing the Cuz again. I want to read a tweet for you that, it's kind of spot on. So the Phillies win their series yesterday to the Braves, and nobody's really talking about it.
No
right?
one cares.
Exactly. That's nobody cares. And I go, wow, well, that kind of sucks. But, they just got swept by the Cubs. And that's when we asked the question, are you already out? And a lot of people said, yeah, same old Phillies. Look, I am disappointed that those Jason Stark cuts that we have played, it doesn't seem like the Phillies are going to be all that aggressive before the deadline. And that's disheartening because even though I've been saying it over and over again, well, it's not like I'm saying it with confidence. I just know they are going to say. I'm telling you right now, Tom, doing this long enough, which hasn't been that long. I've been doing this long enough that you will hear Dave Dombrowski say at some point during his post-trade deadline press conference, where if they don't get anybody really of note, where he will say, well, Jim, or any of the reporters. We will kind of be getting somebody when Gene Segura comes back, and when soon Bryce Harper comes back. That's like we acquired 2 players. Telling you right now, that will be said.
Probably, yeah.
At some point in his press conference, Dave Dombrowski will use some sort of term where he says Gene Segura and Bryce Harper and Zach Eflin.
If he says Zach Eflin, that's the straw that broke the camel's back.
But he will say, that some of the players returning from injury will be like a acquisition at the deadline for them. I'm telling you right now, I've heard enough for every team.
Hey, Dave, I don't know if you know this, but there's no such thing as too many acquisitions. You can have those guys back and add more reinforcements to your baseball team.
The team that won the World Series last year, the Atlanta Braves, they had 4 outfielders. They acquired too many players. And you can't say too many players, but they acquired.
Oh, bummer. We lost that 11th prospect in the system. How will we survive?
For the World Series. So, look, I don't blame anybody that's like kind of down in the organization that hasn't made the playoffs in 11 years. And, Noah Syndergaard's their top trade piece right now that they're going after. Mike Murphy checks in. So I put out a tweet right after the first segment of the show. And I said, I'm back on middays today. Phillies had a series win that I didn't expect. I still think people aren't that excited, though. Why? Do you just not like this team? And the reason why I say do you not just like this team is because we went around the diamond earlier today. And I know that somebody took exception to it. But we went around the diamond earlier today and went through the names of the players. JT Realmuto is not a fan favorite anymore, right? Everybody wanted him. Best catcher in baseball, BCIB. The only guy that I remember that was kind of against it was John Kincaid. And other than that, everybody was on board. I was all about trading Sixto Sanchez, right? I still think he's a good catcher. I still think people overrate the rough start. You know what I mean? Like, I think people are, oh my God, he's the worst catcher in baseball now because he dropped the pop-up like 3 months ago.
Start Garrett Stubbs over him.
Well, that was a big part of it too. But a lot of people don't like JT Realmuto anymore. But a lot of people also don't like his personality. I joke around, but it's kind of true actually. It's a fact that he's the worst walk-up song in all of baseball. So nobody likes that. And then the vaccination status for a lot it's not for me, but a lot of people are bothered by the vaccination status. My man Jay Greco said that thing is dead. No, it's not. There are still people, not you and I, but there are a lot of people that are bothered by him not being vaccinated. And then there's the comments that he made about the lack of the vaccine where he goes, that's just a little bit of money that I'll be losing, where, come on now, that little bit of money is mine and Tom's salary times probably 3, right? Like, it's like, come on, you can't just say that. It's stupid. And then he dug his grave even deeper when he said, well, no, I meant to me, it's not a lot of money. Oh, good for you, JT, Mr. Millions. Like, yeah, awesome. I'm glad it's just a little bit of money to you. Not everybody loves JT Realmuto. Rhys Hoskins people like him, I think, as a guy. And forget the player. I'm saying, like, the guy, right? Not many people like Didi Gregorius. Not many people like Nick Castellanos.
Right
now. But because his attitude, right, doesn't seem like he has the best attitude. And when things are going bad and he has a bad attitude about it, like, people don't like that.
Does that bother you at all, his attitude? Like, because it doesn't for me at all. Like, I think that's who Nick
Castellanos body language is a problem.
Body language is.
And I get bothered when Embiid shows bad body language.
I do too. Definitely. So, but like the way who he is, the kind of snarkiness or cockiness.
Oh, no, I don't care about that.
Like, I don't care that you're shouldn't be on the diamond right now the way you're playing if you're just going based off stats. That doesn't bother me that you're kind of have the same cockiness and
remember when he ripped Rob Manfred last year?
Yeah.
I thought that was awesome. I thought it was so cool.
We were praising his attitude before the season, so now people are kind of turning on him. I figured I was just making sure.
No, but I mean, really body language, I hate it. Like, I get it. You're having a rough day. I get it. You know, we've all had rough days at our places of work, but, like, you know, it seems like it's constant. But not everybody loves a lot of these guys and their personality. And then there's the talent and lack thereof in a lot of areas. I didn't even mention Odubel. Like, you shouldn't like him. You shouldn't like George Familia, right? Like, there's reasons why you should not like them as human beings. And then they stink. Like, they're not good at baseball either. Like,
just to add on.
They're net negative. So, look, I asked the question, do you just not like this team? Because there are a lot of guys that I don't think are fan favorites. Like Bryce Harper's a fan favorite. Schwarber's a fan favorite, but you could be like me where you don't like him in the leadoff spot and hitting 205. Like, acquire a legit leadoff hitter like Andrew Benintendi. Oh, sorry, the Yankees already did that. Get a legit leadoff hitter, and then he can maybe hit a 2-run home run, and I'll deal with the batting average. But then there's also lack of talent in areas. So Mike Murphy checks in. Basically, he didn't say it has nothing to do with like and dislike. He just said they're trying to get to the playoffs with a staff that features a 1, a 3, 2 5s, and a AAA starter. Now, Nola's better than a 3. He is.
Right now.
He's having a very good year.
Right now, he's better than a 3, yes.
I have always said that I think Aaron Nola is a very good number 3 and an average number 2 in Major League Baseball. And look, he's having a good year, so he's better than an average number 2 right now. 2 5s are both Gibson and Suarez 5s. I think you can give them a little, show them a little bit more love.
I think
than
you
2
can
5s.
say 2 4 or 5s because any given day they could be a really good 4 for any team, and then you could have days where it's 2 innings and 7 earned runs.
And then he said AAA star. That's Bailey Falter or Christopher Sanchez. That's
accurate.
spot on.
Yeah.
They are playing with 3 average to below average center fielders. I'll say they're all below average.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like
we're excited about Vierling just because he's the best of the bunch.
Yeah,
he's not very good though.
That's the Alex Singleton effect. And then he said, add a starting pitcher, major league outfielder, and maybe a bullpen arm, and this team will be fun down the stretch. But he's basically saying, look, there's not much excitement and buzz because look at this team. Even though they won a series, I'm sure Mike didn't expect either to win against the Braves. He kind of looks at this team and he sees the flaws. I always mention my man Dan Baxter because he always comes at me when the Phillies lose. Right? Again, Phillies win game 1. Nobody said a peep. They lose game 2, and he said, he tweeted at me, and of course I was off yesterday, but he tweeted at me saying, need another Ace Altunis 97.5 show, 4 hours long, explaining to me why the Phillies are a different team this year. And it's like,
is that what he said?
Yeah. I was like, what, because they lost the game to the Braves? Like, look, if he sent me that tweet after they got swept by the Cubs, fine. But you sent me that tweet after they lose to the Braves after they won game 1.
With Spencer Strider on the mound.
Yes, who's a stud. But nobody watches baseball outside of the Phillies, so they don't know that he's really good. Just like football. I talk about all the time. There are just Eagles fans that don't pay attention to the rest of the league, and then they go, oh, my God, Jalen Hurts is a top 10 quarterback. Like, no, he's not. It happens. We don't have, this is literally our lives, right? So we do have to pay attention to it. But, how can you send that tweet? And then they win the next game, but it's the same thing. Nobody says boo. If anything, you should go, wow, good. How about just a good job, Phillies?
Clap.
Way to take 2 of 3. So I don't blame anybody for being down, but the Phillies aren't going to help themselves out. If they don't make a move, they're not going to help themselves out at all. It's going to be quiet.
No, yeah, that'll really kind of push people.
Especially now with this is the thing. The 4 teams in this city. Well, maybe not the Flyers because they don't give a damn, clearly. But the 3 teams, Phillies, Sixers, and Eagles, and of course the Union, but Phillies, Sixers, and Eagles, because not many people know the talent outside of the Union, right? They're always competing with one another, right? Especially competing against the Eagles, trying to do their best to try to be on the radio. Their team is mentioned a lot, right? It's about to be football season. If the Phillies want to have any sort of publicity, they want ticket sales to go up, you got to make a move.
Because the issue is they've already lost fans for this season. And I don't know if it's because of things done this season necessarily, but past seasons.
Yeah.
Like completely blowing stretches or blowing games down the stretch.
Yep.
Whatever it may be. If you don't make a move, you already have that part of the fan base lost. You're going to lose the nerds like me and you to an extent, like the people out there that love.
No, I'll still
breathe,
watch,
and I will too. I'm
going to be like the fever pitch, and I'm going to
still go. It's a great movie, by the way.
I'm going to keep
but you're going to lose that next tier of fans that are kind of in and like the Phillies and want to see them do good down the stretch. But then if you don't make moves, you're going to be like, all right, why bother?
There's no buzz, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to win, so then why should I go?
I say it all the time about teams. If you don't care, why should
I? And also for FanFest tickets, if you call in at 610-632-0975, The time we definitely over-complained about something, and now looking back at it, you go, wow, we shouldn't have complained that much. Chase Gallo just gave an awesome answer. Bryce Harper's contract.
Oh
my God, how can you give that much money?
Yep.
First of all, there were people that thought he was overrated, which is stupid. Like, so dumb. People didn't like that it took as long as it did. And, like, screw Bryce Harper for doing that. Like, well, he signed here. Like, you'd be happy with that. And then people didn't like the $330 million, where his average salary now per year is not even in the top 10 anymore.
It's 20th.
You got to steal.
And it's always going to go down.
Yeah.
Like, because more players are going to get paid more.
For one of the best players in the league, I know he's hurt right now, one of the best players in the league, you have the 20th highest average salary per year. Like Mookie Betts, I think Mookie Betts broke that in like 5 minutes. Like the next year, he signed a $400 million contract.
Yeah, him and Trout did it actually in like a week later. Trout did. We talked about earlier.
Chase, that's an awesome answer. All right, let's go to the phones. Let's talk to Eric in Trenton. Eric, you're on the Fanatic.
Good afternoon, boys.
What's up, Eric? How are you?
I'm doing good. I was going to say between Dutch and Pudge, what about the Lieberthal and Pratt eras where we just ripped on them the entire time? Like, they were the backbones of the team. And
yeah, I mean, I was never really the biggest Lieberthal fan, but I was also a young kid, so maybe that's what it was. I love Chooch though, right? Like I'm a Carlos Ruiz guy through and through.
Yeah.
Do I think Mike Lieberthal should be on the Phillies Wall of Fame? No, I don't.
No, he shouldn't be up there, but for the scrub, good length of time, he was the only guy that the Phillies could name besides Kurt Schilling.
Right.
Other than that, who can name Morandini or Stocker? It's time to think of the teams weren't that great after.
Oh man, Desi Relaford playing shortstop.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's Scott Rowland. That's a little bit of talent there. Robert Person was your opening day starter, pitching and Mike Lieberthal.
Eisenreich in right field. Yeah, I understand, but I always thought that a lot of people gave Lieberthal grief, but he was a consistent, 250, 260 hitter.
Yeah, he was all right. I mean, you love Mike Lieberthal. This might be Mike Lieberthal on the phone right now, for all I know.
Could be, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we do that. We sometimes dislike the best players on our team, and I never understood. And Eric, I appreciate the call. I mean, Lieberthal, I don't want to go too overboard.
I could see the fume going out of your ears when he mentioned Lieberthal.
He had a great season in '99. He batted .300 and had 31 home runs and 96 RBIs.
Wow,
that's really good.
That is really good.
That's a really good season. In 2003, he hit .313. Pretty good. Only 13 home runs, but that's fine.
You're hitting .313 as a catcher.
That's pretty good.
That's good.
That's good.
I
mean, look, he had a good career. It's just
he's Mike Lieberthal.
He's Mike Lieberthal, And he's probably right. Those teams sucked back in the day.
Yes.
And he also came after Dutch. It's a big part of it.
True.
That's a tough thing, right? To replace a absolute fan favorite when you're supposed to be the guy, right? Like you're now the full-time catcher after Darren Dalton. That's got to be tough, right? We see it in all walks of life, not just sports. When you're following a great, right, and you're going to automatically be criticized even more. Like I remember, Darren Dalton's such a fan favorite. When JT Realmuto, before everybody hated him, picked the number 10, people were upset about it. They were saying nobody should ever wear the number 10 behind home plate ever
I do remember seeing that.
And there were a lot of people that were upset with it. So that's probably why Lieberthal got a little extra hate. He had some good years, and then he had some down years. He was on and off, He was all right.
You hate him, dude.
I'm a Chooch man. I'm always about Carlos Ruiz. Let's go to Glenn in Wallingford. What's up, Glenn?
Yo, what's happening, Andrew?
So are you in or out? Because I know you were going to go Summer of Glenn, and then you were back in like a week later. And where are we now?
And then they do what they did last weekend.
Yep.
And then they take two out of. I'm like a yo-yo. Listen, at least it wasn't like the season started, right? When the season started, it was like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? Can we even watch baseball? So at least I can watch, right? But it's just I just can't gain momentum. I mean, because like I said, they lose. They get swept by the stinky Cubs.
Yep.
I mean, they're pitiful.
So I said this on Tuesday. Was it when did they play the Braves the first game? Tuesday night? I think it was.
Yeah. No, Monday night.
Monday,
night,
sorry.
yeah,
So
Monday.
Tuesday I was in still. Yeah, I was off yesterday. And I said that this team is not good enough for any games to be a lock, aka the Cubs series, right? You get swept by the Cubs, but they're not bad enough of a team for you to count them out. And look, when everybody counted them out after getting swept by the Cubs, me included, they come away and beat Max Fried, right? So this team, it's what you're feeling right now. That's who this team is, and you're going to have to deal with it the rest of the season. And hopefully, they finally break the playoff drought, and it's all for the great.
And that's the beautiful thing with the expanded wild card, right? At least they still have an opportunity because, and you touched on it a couple of minutes ago, if the front office doesn't address the hole that they have right now and are just relying on Segura and Harper, which are no guarantees for these guys to be 100% when they come back. I mean, you know what I mean? Guys get hurt all the time during rehab or whatever. I mean, you're talking about little bones in your hands that could be re-injured again, right? So they need to go get a good starting pitcher. Not even a good. I would even say a middle of the road starting pitcher. Get a nice 3. I'd be happy with that. And just the fact that they've never had ever since Shane Victorino and then Jason. What's his
Worth?
name? Worth. I mean, the outfield has just been so mediocre. I mean, I know Schwarber's hitting 30 home runs, but it's like you touch 205. I'm like, the outfield has just been we just don't have a good outfield.
Yeah, I mean, and that's like historically with the Phillies, Glenn. And I appreciate the call, man. Thank you. Good hearing from you. That's historically with the Phillies. Outfielders are just they don't develop them.
No, never.
I mean, you think about it. Developed outfield, like where they drafted them and they came up through their farm system. Greg Lazinski and Pat Burrell. And Pat Burrell was drafted as an infielder.
They have spent, realistically, over $500 million on their 3 outfielders right now. And I know they don't all play outfield at the same time because they can't develop any outfield talent.
Yeah.
$500 million, $500 million, because they can't do anything.
Meanwhile,
keep picking Adam Hazley's.
Meanwhile, the Atlanta Braves go, we have Ronald Acuna. We're going to completely swindle him by only paying him $100 million for the next 10 years. And I'm pretty sure he fired his agent literally a year later.
As he should have.
Something like that. And we have this kid named Michael Harris who hit a home run yesterday against the Phillies. You know, a guy.
Just why not? Just another dude to throw in there.
A guy that can hit, play the outfield, has a lot of speed, all that kind of stuff. We have other guys that are going to continue to play in the outfield for us. We have Spencer Strider. We have Max Fried. They have Mike Soroka, who's still hurt.
Ian Anderson. Who's having a down year, but is a ton of talent.
They just have these guys.
Also, real quick, what annoyed me yesterday, Gibson made one mistake yesterday. It was a 2-run homer to Matt Olson. Are we really, and I believe he has the most homers against any team this season against the Phillies. Like him as an individual player, the most home runs he has against a certain team is the Phillies.
Yeah.
Are we really going to go from Philly killer on the Braves at first base, Freddie Freeman, automatically to Philly killer on the Braves playing first base to Matt Olson for another 5 years? Like, that's just going to happen.
Yes, because
with no issues, no problems.
Because the Braves try.
There's not even going to be a season where they have a first baseman who doesn't put up any no, it's just going to go from Freddie Freeman, Philly killer, to Matt Olson.
No, the Braves the Braves try, Tom.
Must be nice there, Andy.
The Braves won the World Series last year, and believe it or not, they're still trying this year. Let's see. Matt Olson has 20 home runs on the season. Let me go down against the opponent, and 5 of them of his 20 are against the Phillies. So 4 of his home runs are against the Phillies.
Awesome.
Also hitting .297 against the Phillies.
And he signed for what, 7 years?
Yeah.
That contract is.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Look, I love the Fightins, but
do they love you?
Sometimes they send me a lot of emails. it's nice that they check in. I mean, they want me to buy tickets, but like
that's cool. I prefer you just go out and get a good starter and a real center fielder.
It's nice to feel wanted.
And listen,
the Phillies want me to come to Citizens Bank Park.
Now, they did just go over the luxury tax for the first time in franchise history. I'm not trying to bash on them too much, but because you go over the luxury tax for the first time in franchise history, why wouldn't you want to just add on and keep going, make your team as good as they can be, rather than just say, all right, next year's the year we're really going to go all in. Like, I don't know, just sign a controllable guy, trade for a controllable guy.
Well, they did that with Kyle Gibson and Hans Gruber last year. Chris Kleppinger. Gives another. There's a lot. See, like this is why I was excited to do this topic. The times we complained way too much, and I get it. We never want to admit when we're wrong about things. It's a walk of life. But Chris checks in, spot on, and I was working here at the time, so trust me, I know it. He said this is typical Philly, and in this case, typical sports talk fodder. But in 2017. When Fletcher Cox missed voluntary OTAs for family vacation, people lost their bleep. They won the Super Bowl that year.
They did.
And he was fantastic that year.
He was.
But yes, Fletcher Cox missing OTAs. We talked about it every day on the air. Every day. And he would tweet out like emojis, and we'd be like, what is that?
What does that mean?
Does that mean he's coming back? Does that mean he got paid? But he's right. That's an absolute incredible answer. 610-632-0975 is the number to climb in. We got one segment left. A conversation on the crock pot is coming up next, Tom. I'm sure everybody's just excited for that one. Right here, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Way to sell that, Andrew. Huge series win. I'm Tom Alvord, this update is brought to you by Wawa Hoagie Fest. Wawa Hoagie Fest is back. Whatever your order, summer tastes better when it's full of hoagie love. Get $5 shorties and $6 classic hoagies. Yes, Philadelphia Phillies won a crucial series over the Atlanta Braves thanks to a 7-2 victory yesterday afternoon. The offense was rolling as the team racked up 10 total hits with 3 separate players in the lineup having multi-hit days. Kyle Gibson gave the Phillies just what they needed as he went 6 innings, allowing just 2 runs and 4 strikeouts. Philadelphia now sits at 51-47 on the season and a half game out of the final wild card spot. They begin a 4-game series with the Pittsburgh Pirates tonight. Zach Wheeler faces off against Zach Thompson. The first pitch is at 7:05. We are now officially on day 3 of training camp, coming off the first practice of the year yesterday. No practice today, however, as all the team has scheduled is a walkthrough. Make sure to tune into the afternoon show today at 4 o'clock as Tim McManus gives his training camp update. And the Sixers officially announced that 10-time All-Star James Harden has officially re-signed with the team in a statement released yesterday. Keep it locked to The Fanatic all day for breaking news and information. I'm Tom Alvord, and you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic.
It's the Anthony Gargano Show on 97.5 The Fanatic. Fanatic Fan Fest 2022 is Saturday, October 1st at Xfinity Live. Presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. Go to 975thefanatic.com for more details and ticket information.
Fan Fest is brought to you by Family and Company Jewelers, Jersey's Diamond Destination.
And
United States Marine Corps, the few, the proud, the Marines.
Hi, it's John Kincaid. You know, as a 2-time cancer survivor, every dollar counts when it comes to funding cancer research. And I know that the American Association for Cancer Research are great stewards of your dollars. They're the official charity of the John Kincaid Show. The cause hits home for me because I'm a 2-time cancer survivor. Many of you have a father, a mother, a brother, a sister, a friend who've been touched by cancer. Or maybe it's you yourself. Do you realize that 88 cents of every dollar that you donate is going to be put directly into the hands of scientists and researchers that are working on breakthroughs that save lives every day? There are almost 17 million Americans today that are cancer survivors because of that hard work and those grants that are put out there by the American Association for Cancer Research. They've awarded more than $7 million in grants to support cancer research just in 2021 alone. Help the researchers. Help the doctors. Private citizens, you're doing your part. Let's give cancer patients and their families hope today. Go to aacr.org/fanatic. That's aacr.org/fanatic because cancer research saves lives.
Is today your lucky day? You bet. Because the new BetParks app is everything you want in a digital casino and sportsbook. It's easy to sign up, fun to use, and faster to win than ever before. And all new BetParks app users can choose between a $20 casino bonus or a $20 free sports bet. Which begs the question, is this the most rewarding casino and sportsbook betting app ever? You bet. BetParks. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. Pennsylvania and New Jersey only. Could your favorite casino app be even better and faster than before? You bet, because the all-new BetParks app has been built around what you really want. Easier sign-up, better gameplay, and faster withdrawals, and all the slots and table games you love. Plus, make your first deposit and get a 100% match up to $750 and an additional 500 free spins. So, are all of your favorite games just a tap away? You bet. BetParks. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. Pennsylvania and New Jersey only.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The patented key ingredient is something called Testofen, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text FLASH to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text SLASH to 321-321. That's slash to 321-321.
Buffalo Wild Wings has happy hour bar food from 3 to 6, Monday through Friday, and great deals on drinks all day. It's the perfect way to offset a long day. Text that hilarious joke about your boss to your boss. What? No. Try a $3 Wild Herd by Goose Island. Set your morning alarm for 6 p.m. That calls for $5 strawberry margaritas. So if you ask your phone why you're still single and...
Ha. Seriously?
Head to Buffalo Wild Wings. At participating locations, taxes and fees apply. Dine-in only. Drink responsibly. Offers vary by location. Void where prohibited.
First Student is looking for school bus drivers in Philadelphia. If you need more than just a driving opportunity, consider a position on the First Student team. This is an excellent way to make a difference in your community while working at a job you'll truly love. School bus driver positions offer a starting wage of $23 per hour and a sign-on bonus up to $4,000. Apply today at workatfirst.com or call 267-758-0522. That's workatfirst.com or call 267-758-0522.
Meet Allison, teammate at Truist Bank.
Hi.
She was born to care, and she always had your back.
You could say that.
Like that time back in the mid-'80s when she spotted Stacy Kaminsky with her new perm, and a car was coming, about to hit a puddle. So Allison jumps in front of the splash, just in time to protect Stacy's fresh curls.
Look, I had to do it. A wet perm just doesn't work.
Today, Allison's a teammate at Truist, the bank that starts with care. When you start with care, you get a different kind of bank. Learn more at truist.com/care. Truist Bank, member FDIC.
Millions of people use Zoom Phone, the innovative and feature-rich cloud phone system for businesses of any size. Zoom Phone is simple to use, whether you're on a mobile device, desktop, laptop, or desk phone. And because every call is important to your business, Zoom Phone was built with reliability in mind, using geographic redundancy to keep your communications online. Empower your workforce with Zoom Phone. Visit zoom.com/phone system. Zoom, how the world connects.
Hey, it's Ricky Bo. If you're looking for a new car this summer, visit the team at Barlow Buick GMC in Woodbury, New Jersey. They have huge savings on all vehicles in stock, including the new GMC Sierra. Barlow is family-owned and operated since 1971. That's over 50 years of honest pricing and dedicated service, so you know you're in the right hands. When you shop at Barlow, there are no dealer fees or markups. Order your next vehicle from Barlow. Visit Barlow Buick GMC in Woodbury or at barlowautogroup.com.
Hello? Whether you're at home or on the go, listen to 97.5 The Fanatic on Odyssey on your smartphone, Roku, LG Smart TV, Waze, and more. That's Odyssey, AUDACY. Check it out now. Didn't get the chance to hear your favorite Fanatic host today? Go to 975thefanatic.com right now and download the Best of Show Daily Podcast. Brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Use promo code FANATIC when using the DraftKings app.
1:30, 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm Andrew Salchunas. Final segment of the day. Devon Givens coming up next. Tyler Zulli producing the show. They'll be on, of course, from 2 until 6. You see on our YouTube the plaque behind me, the Cousin Chunas.
I do.
The big sign. I think I got the first glimpse of the best show ever.
Is that right?
I think I've seen it here first. It's right in front of me.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me know.
It's right in front of me. Well, they just brought it in.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And then they saw that we were coming back on the air, so they, scurried out of here.
How's it look?
It's nice.
Yeah. Excited to see it.
It's a nice sign. Come on in. Why don't you just leave the board? Just come on in. I'm not going to do anything.
Can I?
No.
All right.
Because I'm probably going to talk to you in a couple of seconds.
I'm good. Thanks.
So 2 things, football related, before I get to our man Chuck in Las Vegas. So Kyler Murray made a surprise appearance with the media today.
That was nice of him.
He called it, quote, disrespectful and almost a joke that people could think he could have accomplished everything that he's accomplished without studying and preparing for games. He said this game is too hard to do otherwise. To what Mike Florio responded with, and he's spot on. I don't like really Mike all that much. But they wanted a no baseball clause for a reason. They wanted a homework clause for a reason. Teams don't spin a wheel and randomly add rare or unprecedented terms to contracts. Any anger or frustration should be directed to the team. Or to yourself, dude, because clearly you have this kind of reputation where they added a 4-hour study session into your contract.
Yes, correct.
Now let me ask you, if you're Kyler Murray, because at first I thought it was 4 hours a day. I'm a guy that I would bang out all 4 in the same day, so I'm good for the rest of the week.
Yeah.
If you had to pick, would you space it out? Or would you go all 4 one day and I got the rest of your week?
If I actually cared about my job, yes. I'd probably be doing, 2 hours per day just to make sure I'm completely
No, but Kyler Murray doesn't.
Exactly.
So,
that's the issue.
So if you're Kyler Murray, so think about it like school, right? Like when you took courses in college. I was a load up Tuesday, Thursday, hate my life for 2 days a week, but then I'm off the other 5.
Right now in my life, I say I would probably do like 30 minutes a day. Back 22, 23-year-old, I'm doing
You're doing 4 hours in one day, and then you're going, I'm good
8
for
p.m. when it's due at midnight. That's what I'm doing.
And you're good for the rest of the week.
Yes.
Also, so there's a million of these. There's a website that covers sports and does gambling on the side. There's like a bajillion of those.
Yes.
More than the mega million. This is the Game Day NFL. They put out their top wide receiver trios. Their top 10.
Nice.
And I, right away I see a flaw and I go, why would you follow this account? Number 1 on the list is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Like a flaw, like spelling flaw?
Oh, no.
Okay, gotcha.
Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Julio Jones, number 1 on their list.
Okay.
Number 2, the Cincinnati Bengals with Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd.
Okay.
Number 3, the Saints, a healthy Michael Thomas. Jarvis Landry and Chris Olave, excuse me.
Big question marks, but that seems a little high, but I get it.
Vikings, 4th with Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, and KJ Osborne. And ever since Justin Jefferson has gotten there, Adam Thielen has become underrated. So
yes,
we're talking just trios, not the quarterback that throws to him, not the team, just the trios. The Dolphins, number 5, Tyreek Hill now, alongside Jalen Waddle and Cedric Wilson.
Yep.
Okay. Number 6, the Cardinals, DeAndre Hopkins, when he's not suspended, Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown, and Rondale Moore.
A little high, but okay.
The Broncos, number 7, with Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, Tim Patrick. They should be higher on the list, if I'm being honest with you. I think they're going to be very good. And now they have a legit quarterback throwing to them.
That's the issue. When I hear those names, I don't think a legit one, but we haven't seen any of those receivers with a legit quarterback.
I think with a legit quarterback, those this.
Like Jeudy, I think, has a ton of talent.
Yeah.
I wanted the Eagles to look at him. They're in the draft.
Yes.
But, yeah, so right now it seems a little high, but I feel like 4 weeks in, 8 weeks into the season.
Like the Broncos could be in the top 5.
Correct.
Seahawks, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Marquise Goodwin. Pretty good. DK and Tyler Lockett, I think they should be higher too.
Marquise Goodwin, former Eagle? Marquise Goodwin? Not Marquise.
Oh, the one who never played.
Who was out because of COVID. Yeah, who I was excited about.
He opted out. I was excited too. Yeah, that Marquise Goodwin who never played with the Eagles.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, he took the year off. San Francisco traded him here, and then he just never played. He opted out because of COVID, and that was it. He had as good as a career as Frank Gore did here in Philadelphia.
And I don't think he played last year either.
No, he did. He played 14 games for the Bears.
Really?
40 targets, 20 catches, and just 1 touchdown.
That's too high then. Anyway.
The Eagles are number 9 on this list. I don't have a problem with the ranking. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Jalen Reagor is the third receiver that they put on there. And that's when I go, I spotted a flaw right away.
I was not expecting that at all. I thought we were going, arguing if they should be hired. No.
Jalen Reagor is the third receiver that they put in the trio.
He is not the 6th receiver on the roster right now.
Yeah, he might not be. He stinks. He's so bad.
It's not good.
Jalen Reagor is an awful football player, and it's a shame. Because he was drafted 21st overall, and that's not his fault.
No.
It's not his fault that they took him over Justin Jefferson. Not his fault at all. But he stinks. But yeah, they put Jalen Reagor as the trio.
That's terrible.
And then number 10, the Chargers, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, and Josh Palmer.
That tells me they don't watch a lick of Eagles football.
Yeah.
And you're just going based off a depth chart probably from last season, added A.J. Brown in.
Yeah, that's
bad.
Yeah,
there's a reason that.
Should I just block their account?
Yes, I would. Do it right now.
Hold on, I got to get back to it.
How many followers do they have? Do you know?
25,000.
Yeah, that is 25,000 mistakes.
I might just block them when I find them. All right, let's go to the phones. Let's go to Chuck in Vegas. What's up, Chuck?
Hey, Chudis and Tom, great work.
Thanks, Chuck.
For Anthony.
Thank you. I can't wait for him to come back on the first. I've been having a lot of fun, but I can't wait for him to come back, man.
Yeah, absolutely. But also, just a great series win for the Phillies over Atlanta.
All right. Well, thank you for being excited. You're the first one all day.
Yeah, absolutely. We now's the time. We got to be aggressive at the deadline, And look, I actually don't want Montas or Castillo. I don't trust either of them relative to what you're going to have to give up. I'd rather go a cheaper option. Maybe Zach Greinke and Madison Bumgarner.
Yeah, I think Greinke's cooked, dude. I wanted him before. I wanted him before the season. I've talked about that over and over again. I think he's cooked, man. Let's see. He is. He's actually started to win a few games. He's 3-6 with a 4.35 ERA.
Yeah, I hear you there. You're probably right, Andrew. But I just need someone who's going to eat some innings, so we don't have to keep going through these bullpen games.
Yeah.
But then in addition to that, I would love for a big time bat. I would have loved Benintendi. He goes to the Yankees. I don't know. The Angels are a team I'm looking at. Maybe you can get Taylor Ward, a player who can play third base and outfield. You'd have to give up a heck of a lot to get him, but that's the caliber of player that I think we need.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a bunch of areas. I'm still very bothered by the Benintendi thing because the Yankees, it's not like they're desperate, right? They have the second best record in baseball. They're aggressive, and they go out and get Benintendi. And then I don't know if you heard the Jason Stark cuts that we've been playing. He was on with Devon yesterday. He basically said that here are some of the names. Chuck, did you hear Stark yesterday?
No, I did not.
All right, here are the names that he gave. Christian Pache, who's hitting below 200. Yeah. Jose Siri, who's hitting below 200. Michael A. Taylor, who's barely hitting over 200. Yeah. And there was one other that he – Victor Robles, who had a good year 4 years ago. Those are the names that he said the Phillies are going to be in on center field. All names that are not much better than what you already have, if better at all. And that's disappointing.
Yeah, no, I want another bat in here. Maybe Xander Bogaerts, someone you can pair.
Yeah, I don't know how real that is. I keep seeing that popping up, Chuck, and I appreciate the call as always, man. I see more and more of these accounts that I don't trust that keep on putting.
You got to watch out for those, man.
Those Bogaerts thing, and I'm just like,
it just doesn't make sense. This team has too many other needs and no farm system.
Yeah, but I'm cool. Listen, I would welcome a Xander Bogaerts because he now plays shortstop. Right, he's now everyday shortstop. Didi's done,
locked up for long term too.
Yes, because he's got the player option, but you can probably work some things out. And then I don't know, I get Bryson Stott's going to probably sit on the pine, but Xander Bogaerts is better than him.
But then, and because I believe Segura's done after this year, so maybe you have Stott move to second base,
right?
So this season it would hurt him.
And
I guess
it's Segura and Bogaerts up the middle for a playoff push. I like that.
Yeah,
and he's a guy with power.
And then Stott becomes your depth guy besides a Camargo, a guy like Camargo.
Right, exactly.
He bops around short and second.
So
third.
I mean, if that's real, I'm for it. I just don't know how real that is. But or maybe the Red Sox go in fire sale mode. Like is Nathan Eovaldi available? Like I don't know.
Yeah.
They're falling apart right
Nick
now.
Pivetta.
No. Ew.
It's had a good season.
I might vomit. Ew.
Sorry.
No. Don't ever say that name again in any sort of like positive way. Okay. I hate that man. I think he's a terrible pitcher.
He's having a good season.
Yeah, the 4.35 ERA he's got.
Is that what he's up to now?
Yeah, dude,
my bad. He was good earlier in the year.
Yeah,
That's
he had
my
like
bad.
3 good starts.
No, he was good the first couple months.
He's got a 4.35 ERA.
That's my bad.
Let's see. Let's look at the game logs for as Anthony calls him, Pavagita. Let's see.
Well, but it's funny because like the Phillies are being linked to like every former Red Sox. Like JD Martinez was linked to him. I was like, he fits nowhere on this lineup. It makes no sense.
Here you go. Here's Pavetta's month of July. So his last outing against the Guardians, 5 2/3, just 1 earned. Not bad. 7 hits, 3 walks. So a lot of guys on base got out of it though. Here are the other ones. Against the Yankees, 4 1/3, 7 earned runs, 7 hits, 3 walks. So another 10 guys on base.
Not great.
He had back-to-back starts against the Yankees. The one before it, 3 1/3, 6 earned, 8 hits, 2 walks. Another 10 guys on base.
Okay, it's good pace.
And then the start of the month was against the Rays, where he went 5 2/3, 7 earned runs, 8 hits, 2 walks, another 10 guys on base.
I probably should drop him in fantasy.
Yeah, what, have you not been checking? Because he's killing you.
I have, but
he's killing you. He had a couple of good outings in June. Oakland. He went 8 strong against, but Oakland stinks. But yeah, dude, I can't.
He was good early in the season. It was more of a joke. I was just throwing that out there. But yes, they should be calling teams that are willing to sell any type of players. They should be calling the Marlins, seeing what Pablo Lopez costs. If it's too much, at least you called. You know, like that's you should be. Dave Dombrowski should be calling every team that is willing to sell at least a player.
Chuck mentioned Zach Greinke, who I did want before the season started. I'm actually looking. He actually hasn't had that terrible of a seat. Like, all right, so his ERA is 4.35. That doesn't sound good, right? The only problem is Chuck also said he wants an innings eater. He hasn't been that.
Nah, I mean,
the most innings he's pitched this year is 6 flat, and he's done it 3 times.
Yeah, it's not good.
That's not good.
No.
So like, here's his outings, right? 1 earned run, 2, 1, 3, 1, 2, 5, 2, 7, 5, 1, 1, 6, 0, 3, 0. So for the most part, he's kept it below 2, 3 runs, but he's only going like 5 innings.
Yeah.
Because his arm's shot.
Chuck seemed more. He wants a bat in this lineup,
yes, he does.
Then he wants a pitcher, and I just think when you look at the need of this team, where you have Christopher Sanchez and Bailey Falter starting every 5th day, and you're trying to make the playoffs, you need more of an upgrade than a Zach Greinke or even a Madison Bumgarner who's having a nice season, but you need someone with a higher upside than those guys.
Yeah, exactly. You know, those names are kind of. You know, they'll help you a little bit, but not all that much. All right, so the crock pot, Tom. I used it to make a chicken dish that I discovered a few years ago, and it's delicious.
Nice.
Like, I just randomly found it on the internet. Are you a crock pot man?
Yes, big time. We don't use it a ton, but when we do.
Okay, thank you. So that's exactly what I'm getting at.
Okay.
Everybody loves the crock pot, but doesn't use it much.
Yes.
So it's like, I think it's almost underrated because you love it, but then you'll use it, 5 times a year?
Yeah, sounds about right.
I only used it yesterday because I was with the baby all day, taking care of him. It's not like I was going to have time to really cook. Chrissy was at work, right? That's the only reason why I used it, because it was nice to just throw some stuff in it, and it's good for the rest of the day. The crock pot is an invention that is severely underrated, underappreciated. Let's use that, underappreciated. Are there any other household items? Doesn't have to be the kitchen, Tom, but other household items that come to your mind that are underappreciated? And I don't mean like air conditioning, because that's like everybody's first answer. What's the greatest invention of all time? Oh, air conditioning is the number 1 answer of all time. Like the underappreciated item. The crock pot's up there.
So this comes from someone who didn't have one for a certain amount of time. The microwave. the microwave, when it comes to reheating things, is the greatest invention ever. It takes a minute to reheat an entire meal. My mom, one year, just decided that we don't need the microwave anymore.
I was about to ask, like, what do you mean you didn't have one for a while?
Dude, it was when I was still living at home. This was probably 6 years ago at this point or something like that. She's like, yeah, we don't. Why would we use the microwave? We can just reheat stuff up on the stove. No, we can't. So
that's terrible.
We didn't have it for a year, and I missed it dearly, and I would not eat leftovers as a boycott to my mother. So microwave.
So I'm guessing the microwave wasn't like a built-in one. It was just like you had a...
Yeah, just like one that you plug in. Yeah, you can get wherever.
I had that for a long time. Now there's the people that have it like put into the wall and all that kind of stuff, fancy schmancy. So did she like throw it out?
She grew up without one. Like they didn't use them as a kid. So she was like, "Why do we need this? It looks ugly on the counter." Yada yada yada. I was like,
"But did she throw it out, or she keep it in like the garage?"
I think it broke and we just didn't get a new one.
Okay.
But we were all like, kids under 20 years old reheating.
And you're probably eating all kinds of stuff.
I want, a Hot Pocket, but I gotta wait 30 minutes in the oven to have it, heat up and everything like that, preheat. It was horrible, man. So the microwave.
The reheating something in the oven sucks.
It does, dude. It takes forever.
It may taste better.
Sure.
It probably does. Like a slice of pizza, you put it in the oven, strong move.
Which is why the toaster oven.
It's a great item.
Very
now,
great.
I've told this story probably 2 or 3 times in my time. Pat Egan will always have my respect because he did something so absurdly genius here at 97.5 The Fanatic one year. You were never here when we had a kitchen, right? Like, we used to have a kitchen back there.
No, we had the vending machine stuff over here when I first started.
Yeah,
but not
so we used to have a kitchen. They redid everything, and they put like eight office spaces that nobody uses instead of the kitchen, right? So we used to have that coffee pot that's right over there. That's that's just sitting there.
Yes,
and has been for like a year. It's just a coffee pot, coffee maker that's just sitting there, plugged into nothing. It's just sitting there. Like I could probably take it home, and you know what would happen? Hey, who took the coffee pot? It'd be one of those things, right? It's that thing that somebody would only notice it if it's gone.
Correct.
But it's just sitting there. It's not even plugged in. There's no water hose connected to it or anything. Okay. Whatever. So Pat Egan, kid is a freaking genius. Put a slice of pizza on a piece of tin foil and then put it on the coffee burner and turn the coffee burner on.
Really?
Yes. And heated it up that way. Because it's not like there's an oven here, and he didn't want to microwave his pizza. Which, look, I would rather not go through any of that.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And I'll just microwave it. But he did it during a commercial. He and I were doing a show before. This is before the Saturdays show. This is like a couple of years ago. He and I were doing a Saturday or a Sunday morning together, and he reheated the piece of pizza on a piece of foil on top of the coffee burner.
That is impressive. And it got done in the time of a break, 5, 6, 7 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. Genius move by Pat Egan. He will always have my respect. Some other items that are totally underrated or not appreciated enough. And it doesn't just have to be food related for all the great answers that I'm getting. But B-Ball Josh gives a great one. You always just use it, but you never say, I'm really glad I have this. The garbage disposal.
Yes, that's a good one.
If you don't have a garbage disposal, your sink backs up. And that's it. Now you're just digging your hand in there just to pull out some stuff. But a good garbage disposal doesn't get enough love.
Very clutch.
Ever. Adam goes with the coffee grinder, which he's right. I don't have one. I just get the beans already, ground, right, when I go to the store, right? But you want to make your own fresh beans. It's an item that you should have at the house. Brandon says the freezer. Yes, but like everybody uses the freezer. I'm not, I'm saying like an item that we probably don't use enough. A couple people are saying the cast iron skillet. Huge.
That is a good one.
Huge fan of the cast iron skillet.
The non-stick, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
or the OG one, where like the flavor's still there from the previous meal. Could also just do that. It doesn't have to be non-stick. Toaster oven coming in, which is what you said as well. And then people talking about the dishwasher. Now I went through a couple of places, no dishwasher.
I'm doing it right now.
It
broke.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
Sorry to hear that.
It sucks.
And you're gonna get a new one, I would imagine.
In due time.
Because
they're expensive.
You end up living without one for a while, and you end up getting used to it.
And that's where I am. I've gotten used to it at this point.
But then when you get it back, it's like, wow. Like the place we're at now,
how did I ever do this?
Place that we moved to has like a legit dishwasher. The place I had in Manayunk, I could only fit in a certain amount of items, and half the time there was still like grime on it. Before that, I hadn't had a dishwasher since I lived with my parents, right? So I got used to washing dishes by hand. But having like a go-to, like a good dishwasher like I have now, totally game changer. And that's one of those things like I don't think I'll ever go back. Like I will now need it from here on out. Yeah. So that's how we're going to close out the show today, talking about appliances at the house, Tom. Also, I'll give you one because I still don't have it. The garage door opener in the car. I feel like nobody has that anymore.
I don't have one, no.
My garage door opens. I just don't have the remote. And I need it. Like, it's not like when it's raining or if it's wintertime and I want to park the car, instead of having to get out, going into the house because the damn keypad don't work anymore. I got to get batteries for it or something maybe. I have to go into the house, open the garage door, get back in the car.
That's annoying.
I don't want to do that.
No, I don't blame you.
I don't want to do that. I'm not parking my car in the garage right now. It's fine outside, but like, come wintertime, I'm going to want to park. But the garage door button in the car, I think people it's just there, so nobody appreciates it, but we should. That'll do it for today. So thank you, Tom. It was good to be back. I'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm on remote. So you're here at the studio by yourself. I will be on remote heading down to Blue Heron Pines. Johnny Gaudreau and his family are having a celebrity, golf outing, a charity golf outing. I'm hoping to speak to Johnny tomorrow, which would be fun and interesting because, he should have been here. But, we have an inept organization that runs the hockey team. But, hey, what do I know? So I'll be on the road tomorrow, but I'll be on. Tom will be back here at the studio. And then Anthony, of course, will be back on Monday. Coming up next is Devon Givens and Tyler Zulli. Their last 2 days before the best show ever begins. So everybody have a great rest of your day. Thank you, everybody who watched on YouTube and commented on YouTube. And, of course, Twitter is a lot of fun. And for everybody that called in, I really appreciate it. So we'll be back tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Everybody have a great, great rest of your day. I'm Andrew Salchunas, and this is 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Boom stays red hot. I'm Tom Malborn. This update is brought to you by Audible. Take Audible along this summer and listen to best-selling audiobooks, exclusive originals, and podcasts. Start with a free 30-day trial at audible.com. Yes, the Phillies offense came up with a huge win yesterday, leading the way to a huge series win over the Atlanta Braves. Alec Boehm had another big day as he went 2 for 4 with 2 runs and 2 RBIs in the Phil's 7-2 win. He now has a hit in 12 consecutive games, and the batting average is up to .293 on the season. Philly now sits at 51-47 on the season, just a half game out of the final wild card spot. They head to Pittsburgh now for a 4-game series with the Pirates, who come into the series 18 games under 500. First pitch tonight is at 7:05. We are officially now on day 3 of training camp, coming off of the first practice of the year yesterday. No practice today, however, as all the team has scheduled is a walkthrough. Make sure to tune into the afternoon show today at 4 o'clock as Tim McManus gives his training camp update. This update is also brought to you by your local PJ Willahans. Welcome to all our friends in Hatfield. You have a brand new PJ Willahans opening soon. You're going to love PJs. Keep it locked with Fanatic all day for breaking news and information. I'm Tom Malborn. You're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic.
Anthony Gargano, weekdays 10 to 2 on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hi, it's John Kincaid from my friends at Copair Health, and I've reached the 3-month mark, down 23 pounds. And I have so many dreams about getting 10 more pounds off, as I've set 33 pounds as my target goal. It has been so easy with Copair Health because Copair Health coaches you through the process. You may be a guy who wants to lose 40 or 60 pounds. I'm promising you, they can get you on the right track, and by the time the holidays roll around, you're going to be feeling better. I know this. I feel better when I'm at the pool and I take my shirt off. I feel better when I'm putting on my clothes and everything fits a little better. And I've also been giving a ton of clothes away because I can't fit in them anymore. These are all the benefits. Plus, there's psychological benefits. You feel better with Copair Health. At COPAREhealth.com, Vance has coached me through the process. 3 months, 23 pounds. I'm loving it. Here's what I want you to do. Save hundreds. Contact Copair Health. COPAREhealth.com, and you can save hundreds on your program. All you have to do is mention John Kincaid from The Fanatic. Copair Health It's changing my life.
The summer heat means it's that time of year to crank up the AC again. To keep your home cooling more efficiently and save you on high energy bills, I suggest you go Guida and finally replace your old, drafty, inefficient windows and doors with my good friends at Guida Door and Window. Hi, it's Ricky Bowe, and right now, Guida is offering their best discounts of the year with their big 40% off summer sales event on all expertly installed windows and doors. You'll receive 40% off each window you buy. That's right, 40% off all high-performance, energy-efficient triple-pane windows. And you'll receive 40% off any door, including insulated entry doors, patio doors, garage doors, and storm doors. Plus, get your project started today with no money down and the pay-it-off interest-free for up to 12 full months. All